Half-Baked D&D, Campaign 1, Demons and Disco, is usually a groovy D&D podcast full of some not-so-groovy things, such as violence, profanity, and adult subjects. This is a discussion episode. However, viewer discretion is still advised.
No, officially. Curated.
Yeah, now we're official. We're officially talking about the podcast.
We're official? Does that mean we're 18?
That means we're 32.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure you guys made a joke on episode 18 about being legal.
Yeah.
That sounds like us.
It does.
What does
sound
that
like
even
you guys-
mean?
I don't know. Yeah, say some wild shit sometimes. You should know. You've been re-listening.
Not this meat guy. Oh, whoops. I have to turn my computer on Do Not Disturb. Ah, nice.
Solid.
Now I
What's your
can't
phone going
really-
off, bro? This is a podcast. It's gotta be professional.
I'm pretty sure in one of the episodes you can hear my phone going off.
The first episode, Eli brought out that soundboard.
That soundboard was
Oh,
so
mine
rough.
was so funny, but
I
it's
had-
so loud and
Oh,
it overstayed its welcome so quickly.
yeah,
I
it
had
was
forgotten
immediately
about it.
off.
And I went to go listen to the first episode, completely forgot about it. I'm just like doing something at work, and suddenly all I hear through the garbled mess is just like, "Mission failed. We'll get him
We'll
next
get 'em
time."
Oh,
I'm like,
that
"Oh no."
I think that first episode really is just the pinnacle of how scuffed our shit is. It's
Literally fuck around and find out.
It was the most half-baked of all of the cookies.
very much so. Well, we had literally no idea what we were doing at that time.
I think it's still pretty half baked because I mean, like, you guys might think about all your shit and like plan things out and like figure out your build. I just show up. I had
Yeah.
forgotten what happened the previous session, and I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm starting to remember what
But it's-
happened 4 sessions ago.
Yeah, I think that's kind of why this will be fun because Logan's re-listening to it and getting to hear all of the fun stuff again and getting to remember shit because there's been so much that's happened. We were talking about that a few minutes ago. You might have like the cliff notes, maybe.
Like the big
Maybe.
events, like our 9/11 event, you know.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
when
the
Logan
episode.
turned into a dragon.
Yeah.
There was one character I completely just didn't know existed, and he had been there for so long.
Twins. They were twins.
So, yeah, even
Yeah.
now.
Finn and Jin.
Yep, the
Ah.
Goliath.
I was like, who are Finn and Jin? And he's like, you don't remember? No.
The whole time.
No idea. Yeah, that was like I think that would be episode 26 or 27. Right after
thought
the
that
whole dragon thing. That was fairly recently. Cuz
Maybe it happened twice. Because I remember it
Yep.
happening like fairly recently.
yeah, that's I know for sure it happened fairly recently in one of the last episodes since the dragon thing. But Jesus, that was so rough. Like, how did you forget? They're the ones that blew up the top half of the building when you guys jumped out of the skyscraper.
Thank you, guys. I mean, in Miggy's defense, I don't think I could tell you a single thing they've said.
That's why.
Yeah, that's fair.
have
They
done
don't talk
nothing-
much. They
They
I have
don't
not played with
exist.
them as much.
Yeah, like
they
Bronze.
barely exist.
Bronze is the captain, so he's important, and then Lydia.
Lydia?
Lydia.
Oh, Lydia.
Who was Lydia? I murdered
He
Lydia
means
in
Violet.
Skyrim.
Violet, yeah. Thank
Are you playing
gonna go
Skyrim in
Black
the
Violet?
background?
No, I thought about it though.
I was thinking
I've been
about playing
replaying
Lego Star
Skyrim
Wars.
lately. I feel like I want to actually be present so I can actually, contribute rather than be like, "Oh, what was happening?"
Especially since you're the one that's gonna not remember most of this.
Oh fuck yeah! So if I'm
Like,
not listening,
it's
I'm
gonna be
screwed.
interesting. Ugh.
There was for a while that I tried to keep track of all the factions, but I gave up on that pretty quick.
Yeah, there's been a lot.
He just
I-
makes them up as he goes.
I really do sometimes. The Red Tears of Joy, that was actually thought out though, kind of. Because I was sitting there one day, and I remembered my brother's ex-wife, she had like a small music project when I was a kid that was called Red Tears of Joy. And
Oh.
I just like thought of the name. I was like, that would be a badass name for a group of assassins.
Yeah, it's a pretty tough name.
And then I went on from there. I even texted her. I was like, hey, you cool if I use this for a group of assassins? She was like, that's cool. Yeah.
Alternate timeline. She's like, "Fuck no, that's mine."
I totally convinced her that I should be able to use some of her music she has on her SoundCloud in the podcast. And then the conversation ended there because we both just kind of got busy. I was going to try to get the raw files, though, so I could add it into our episodes.
Oh, if you
'Cause-
want some cool like guitar stuff, you might be able to like hit up Tony and see if he's down to like contribute some like small motifs or some shit like that.
I keep
He
wanting
loves
to
doing
text
shit like that.
Tony and Doug. That would, like, both of them would be kind of cool. Get the local guys we know. Author of Your Downfall on Jellyfish Farm would be fucking great having guest appearances on this. I want to convince the Jellyfish Boys sometime to do a one-shot with me for the podcast. I think that would be really cool.
What would it be about?
I have no. I want to make like a homebrew module actually where they play as different types of jellyfish and that's their class and shit. I think it would take a lot of work, but it'd be really fun. I think they'd enjoy it.
You just need like the different species of jellyfish. Is that the right word? I don't know.
Yeah.
Subclasses of jellyfish.
The first one that comes to mind because I know the Portuguese man of war. That one's super poisonous.
Yeah,
I don't
that
know
one-
what class that would technically be like though.
No, that is their class.
Well, yeah, but
I
I
feel
guess
with a
maybe
name-
like a rogue, like an assassin or something like that.
I was gonna say, I think with a name like Man of War, it should be like a fucking barbarian jellyfish.
That's another option. Or I don't know. There's certain like one-page TTRPGs. I actually Dungeons and Daddies did one called The Witch is Dead, and that's kind of where the idea originally came from. Like, oh, they're playing as birds in that one, but I could make one that's about jellyfish, and then do something along the lines. Like my head goes somewhere like the SpongeBob episode where they're Mr. Krabs kidnaps all the jellyfish, is like using them to get jelly for the Krabby Patties. You know which one I'm talking about? Mickey looks completely lost.
I zoned out for half a second. Somehow SpongeBob came up.
Well, I was talking about what I'd want to do for the one shot, and I was thinking along the lines of, oh, they're all captured in like a factory or something, and they have to escape.
Oh. No,
Start
I
like
don't
an
remember the
uprising or
SpongeBob
something.
episode. That'd be kind of cool. I feel like they would enjoy it. I wonder how much Alan and Hugo
And Ori.
and Ori have actually played D&D, because I know Doug's played with us once.
He's
So
played
he
with
has
us
like a
once.
vague idea. But I wonder if the others have, because that would be hilarious just to like throw them in. They have no clue what the hell's happening.
That's
They're like,
kind of what I
"Aye."
want to do. I kind of hope, but I want to make the module and everything before I do all that. Because even if it's not something that I do for the podcast, it would be kind of cool to just have another module I've created.
Another thing for your scrapbook is what came to
Portfolio.
mind. Yeah, that word.
Yeah.
Do you have modules in your portfolio yet?
I've been working on one for that Studio Ghibli theme-ish.
Oh,
one.
Yeah, that sounds so cool.
I think I called it Into the Forest. Let me actually look at my drive real quick. Out of the
Drive your
Woods.
what
I hate you.
That was like a complete opposite.
Yeah,
Into the
like-
forest and then out of the woods.
Okay, but it was the same general kind of thing. It works.
Maybe that's some dyslexia coming in.
Oh my, I keep seeing shit at work and like reading it wrong, and I just look at my supervisor. I'm like, I have fucking dyslexia. I don't think I actually do, but sometimes the way my inability to read works, like I'll read words, but it's the wrong word. From my understanding, that's kind of what dyslexia is like, but I don't know. I just like to claim I do to fuck with my supervisors, though.
Yeah.
I think so. I've heard or like read about dyslexia is more like struggling to read because all the letters just look really fucking jumbled and like some things look like other things in your mind, and it just makes it super hard to comprehend anything on a piece of paper
Yeah,
or phone or what have you.
yeah, it's something like that, but I don't remember exactly what we were talking about.
Distraction.
See, this is like this is like a typical talking podcast.
Take us to session 1. Oh, we were talking about your
Session
portfolio
1. Yeah, we were talking
and
about
getting other
portfolio.
people to play D&D.
Before that, we were talking about jellyfish.
And then we're talking about jellyfish.
What?
Yeah, because we're getting
Oh.
more people to play.
Yeah,
Expand the hobby.
I got really confused for a second because I'm on the YouTube studio, and to see the first technically 5 episodes, as including episode 0, I have to go to page 2, which is weird now.
Oh, because we have so many episodes.
Yeah, we've got enough. But yeah, episode 1, that was such a
That was a
hectic
long time
night.
ago.
Do you know what else happened that night?
We built the table.
Yeah, we did build the table. But even before that,
It was a
the
fucking
Nuggets
game.
were
Yeah.
The Nuggets were playing basketball.
And that's why we started late.
That's why we started so late.
Did
And
we
then we
start
had
like
to build the table.
I think we started like 8 p.m. and we've been planning on like 6.
And we went. I remember like wrapping up around 11.
Yeah, and my girlfriend at the time was like, "Do you have to go?" I was like, "I've been planning this for almost a year now. I'm going."
Yeah, it's gone impressively long.
Yeah,
Not like it's
like
over,
the
but
whole shebang of it. That's the word I'm using there. Because think I first texted you guys about doing this in like August, September, October, like late summer, early fall of 2022. And we started recording in June 2023.
Oh my god, I had a revelation about 2022 the other day, or earlier.
What's
I-
what was
that?
your
I was
revelation?
I've been listening to Distractable, and like, I'm not just gonna jump to the front. I haven't listened to that in like 2 years, so they have like this huge list. So I'm listening to shit in 2021, and it's like New Year's for them. And they're like, it's about to be 2022. I'm like, Jesus Christ, 2022 felt like a millennia ago. And it just made me feel the non-stop marching of time.
It does feel like so long ago.
like,
Yeah,
we've
you're
been
telling
doing
me
this.
like in 2022 I moved from Florida back to Colorado, but on the other side of the mountains, and then I moved back over here, and we moved one more time into the last place we were in.
Yeah. You moved in and it was kind of like a placeholder for now because our lease was up in like, what, 2 months or some shit like that? Or a
It
little
was
bit
2 or
more,
3
maybe.
months, yeah. I cracked my
Yeah.
damn head open.
That's why
Oh,
we played the chicken
everything
game.
that led to that relationship.
We played the first campaign because we wanted to wait till you guys were in your like official place.
We did. That was
A little
fun.
adventure.
Fucking
Brick
Brick.
Zuka.
Rick Zuka.
Oh,
The
Brick,
goat.
for those of you who don't know, was my... What was he?
You were a dwarf
fucking-
eldritch knight.
Mhm.
Yeah, and like that man just... I don't know, I remember I named him Brick just because I couldn't think of anything, and I literally just turned him into a brick wall.
My
And he was.
character, I was Noland Stormbreaker. That's what it was. Shortened to Nolan. and I was a Goliath barbarian, and I just was like listening to Valhalla Calling by Miracle of Sound one night before we actually started it, and all of a sudden I went all out on the fucking backstory, and I just had all this shit, and I just sent it to Logan. It was like the day we talked about doing the preseason campaign, and I was like, okay, cool, I have all this for you. Here's a 2-page dissertation on my fucking character's backstory.
They're so cool.
That's the huge difference between us and me.
Us and
Rick
me.
Zuka was a wall.
You guys and me is what I meant. You know what I meant.
I know, I just want to give you crap for it.
Us and me. You know what? I'm sticking to my guns.
Hell yeah.
It's like, I don't know if it was recorded or not, but I literally just show up. I'm just here. Zarde Margolobos wasn't even for D&D.
Zarde Margologos was for Outward, and then it annoyed me enough it just stuck with you.
I'm like, yes, this is what I need to do.
That's like me and Yam Yam, though. Like, that was a nickname that I got in like 2016. My brother was very drunk while we were playing D&D with our friends, and he was like in the bathroom and he yelled, "Yam Yam, roll for me," because we'd been doing this whole thing where they were giving me like seasonal nicknames. It was fall or something, and they're like, "Will Yam," because yams at Thanksgiving dinner. And then he forgot what it was, and he yelled for me to roll for him.
I feel like that's one of those things that's like you stood there for a second, you're like, wait. And then you're like, wait, that was me. And
We all kind of like
to try to roll.
stopped for a second to process it, and then just started laughing and waited for him to come back so he could roll his own damn turn. Because we didn't know what he wanted to do. No! I don't remember what we were fighting, but I was like, I don't know. I don't play a rogue. I play a fucking.
I don't know what I'm doing.
At the time, I was probably playing someone that's dead by now, very dead.
What is Outward?
Outward's pretty hardcore survival RPG that Mickey and I have played. We need to stream that.
Is it like a Rust?
Is it a what?
Is it like Rust or like Ark or something?
No, it's more got like its own story. It's survival because you have to do like camping and sitting on watch and all this other stuff.
Yeah, it's like light survival, but the actual combat and stuff is way more, I guess, realistic.
Yeah,
like
it's you don't level up.
Burns. Yeah,
Oh.
You just get more things to do. You might get better armor. You get magic at some point.
Yeah, you don't really level up, or your equipment doesn't get too much stronger. It's more about you learning the world and its rules for combat.
That's cool.
We suck at that game.
We do. But you know what? Outward 2 is coming out, so we need to get back with Miguel, play the rest of that, and we need to do it on stream because that'd be fun.
I've been waiting, but Miguel seems busy or tired of us for now.
Yeah. We're all busy. We're all adults. It's amazing that we get together as often as we do to record this shit. That's why we try to do 2 episodes in a night.
Oh, we also didn't mention this. Mr. Sukama Pelope y Nina Igorothros is not here with us today.
Sukama Pelope Nanya Igorothos.
Yeah, there you go. I vaguely remembered because I tagged him earlier.
I fucking say that shit like once a day. I'm not even joking.
Yeah, I have it totally down.
I've fucking nailed it at this point. I could say that shit in my sleep.
That's the first time I've said it, and he's not even here.
Right? Yeah, he's got other stuff going on. I decided, hey, let's just do a discussion episode instead, which we've only discussed 1 episode.
Yeah, and this man said 6:60. I was like, bet.
Yeah, right. 7 o'clock. It worked. That's pretty much when it was when you got on the call.
Mm-hmm.
But
So
yeah,
Logan, what are some of your favorite moments from the past?
Especially now.
The best moment of the whole podcast is when Eli messes up Arcanus's name like 8 times.
That gets brought up in this next episode, in episode 32, actually.
Did he actually mess it up, or was he doing that on purpose?
Well,
I think he messed it up the first time, and then I don't know. It's so funny. He comes up with so many mispronunciations for it. It's so impressive.
Someone said avocado. Why do I have a copyright restriction on episode 0? What?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
It's just
Did we get-
copyright ID claim, not copyright strike.
Oh, okay.
It's just letting me know, hey, you have copyrighted stuff in there.
My singing probably.
And it's all... Actually, it has exactly what the songs are. Because I used songs that were available through the editing software I was using at the time. Okay, yo. Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga is free on the Epic Store right now. I got a notification to check out what's free. I'm fucking adding that. Hello.
Dude, Lego games are fun for like an hour or two, and then I'm so burnt out on them. I don't know.
Yeah,
what
I don't know about
them
you, but
causes
I've been
that,
playing
but,
Lego
like,
Star Wars 2. I'm about 50% of the way done with completion. Now I just gotta fucking get all the rest of the collectibles.
You've been playing that shit for like a week straight, haven't you?
I have been. It's pretty much all I've played since I finished. Well, actually, since Wednesday last week, right before Thanksgiving.
I've been
Anyway,
playing
Those
Mickey,
games
what was
you
your
have to
favorite?
go up. Oh yeah, go Mickey.
Like, what's the thing that
my-
pops up in your head that you're just like, that was hilarious?
The first thing that popped into my head, which is not inherently hilarious, but just like when I got stabbed and you were so totally planning on killing me. I was just like, no, bitch, and just landed like most every roll that I needed.
You nailed those. That was fun. It felt
That's
pretty
the
tense.
one thing that popped into my head. Like I was so invested. I was like, am I gonna die right now? What's gonna happen to me? I need to like.
That was
turn this
the
into something
most
sick.
you've locked in an episode, and I was like, he's fucking here right now. This
He's paying
motherfucker
some
is
attention.
locked in.
Now I guess the question that raises in my head is like, did I work that day or was that a day I had off? Because that could very well be the reason I
Well,
was
'cause we-
fully there.
We almost always record on Thursdays.
Well, yeah,
I
but
think
that
our
one- that one
first
was, like-
episode. I can't remember if it
when
was
was
episode 2 or episode 3 that we recorded on a Tuesday. But that was right after that episode we recorded on a Tuesday was the same day I went through that breakup. That was fucking
It's pretty gritty.
Logan, you listened to those episodes. Did you have any idea when
No,
you were
it's actually that. It turns out, and really, what I was thinking of was, man, this sounds so much better than episode 1.
Yeah,
That's
episode
the only
1
thing
really
I'm
is
thinking.
just rough. I'm going to make those recap episodes for that 5 and 7 or 6 and 7, something like that. It's some mixture of 5, 6, and 7.
I forget what happened with 5, 6, and 7.
I think something was wrong on the back of the microphone because it's got like the dial for how it filters audio.
That's
the
when we
gain or
switched
whatever.
from me
Oh.
recording it to Will
To
recording
me
it,
recording it, yeah.
and so we just had to kind of refigure it out again.
And now we're on better hardware. I was gonna say like fully digital, but it's been digital.
It is kind of funny to like listen to, like I've recently gotten to the episodes that were recorded here in the office, and it is a noticeable difference between the basement and the office with this soundproofing.
Yeah,
Like I didn't think it was going to be as big as it is, but it really fucking is.
do you know what episode that is?
I want to say that's like mid-20s. Well, actually, I can look because I think it was the episode after the whole you turning into a dragon thing. It was either 26 or 27.
That was a pretty funny comparison I just saw because you were
What?
talking about soundproofing, Will, and then Logan said yeah, and I heard this gnarly
Yeah.
echo.
That is the funny thing, and I bet there's even a difference between me and you since you don't have the soundproofing. Like you're better, but it's still not the same.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a lot of like sound treatment esque objects, which I still kind of want to do. I think the stairs echo a lot, but right behind me, and I have that tapestry up, but I don't think it helps because I've had my door open in the kitchen and like Usually I have something playing like YouTube or Twitch or something. And oh my god, it's so loud up in the kitchen, and my speakers are not that loud. I like have it at like 50. Just so
Yeah.
I can it's like loud enough, but it's not just like you gotta yell to talk, you know?
And then you got the office where I've got soundproofing on almost every foot of wall, and then the fucking tapestry over the closet, all this crap. I have a nice streaming
just put
background.
sound-
I just don't stream.
You just put soundproofing panels, staple them to the closet.
Eli would come over and be like, "What the hell?"
You're like, I needed more. I needed all of it.
So you talking about your favorite being, or the one that pops into your head being you almost dying, makes me think of my favorite, which was when I temporarily capped your HP because of
How
Eli.
fucking dare you?
Dude,
How the
I
man-
blame Eli.
I just think of the way I just screamed in pure joy that the fact that I got to use that.
I think I remember that too. Like I landed the roll and I was like, it's like a 4 or some shit. And you're like, yes, yes.
It was beautiful. I'm pretty sure it was a nat
Yeah,
one.
I was gonna say it's a nat 1, but then you were like, but I have this plus. But I was like, it's a nat 1.
Doesn't matter.
I literally fell to my knees during that. Just
It was
I
so
was
funny.
so
It's
mad at Eli
pure
for so
joy.
long.
oh, it was so funny. How many episodes did that take? I think that was like episode 5 or 6. That was episode
Yeah.
7 that happened, and you did not fix. We did not get that fixed until episode 15.
Wasn't I trying to do it for a noble cause and I got screwed anyway?
So, if I remember correctly, what happened was you guys got paid for all your work helping with that civil war, and then Eli
Stole the money.
He gave
'cause
the
I
money
gave it
to
back.
the he gave the money back to what was his name? I feel like it started with an A. The werebear guy.
Arrhenius?
Arrhenius or something like that, yeah. I'm
Arrhenius.
gonna call it
mhm.
Arrhenius. He gave the money back in exchange for getting changed to a werebear, and then stole it back. So then you, Mickey, paid him to try changing you because Eli was like, "Look, it worked for me." And
I
you,
think I convinced Eli to give me the money so I could do that, so that man would just have his money back.
that sounds probably more correct.
And that's why I was mad at Eli, because he's like, you won't do it. I was like, I bet. And I rolled apparently a nat 1, and I was
Yep.
like, God,
And you
fuck.
got
I
And that was
should
the
not.
last heroic thing
8
that
episodes.
Zardy ever did.
That
Like-
was like you had a crisis of conscience. It immediately bit you in the ass, and then you have not done anything else since.
Now my
Though,
character is jaded.
though, I did notice something in episode 25, which is only natural. That's the end of the, where that's when the dragon thing happened. Mickey Zarde Margalobos was the first one to turn his gun on fucking Alvin when he was threatening Cora.
Dude, that's my dad.
What?
I wasn't gonna be the first one. That's my dad.
But Mickey didn't even fucking hesitate. Like,
'Cause he's a bad dude.
it was threatening Cora. You immediately were like, "Oh no, motherfucker! Here's a gun in your face."
And Cora was my friend, even though she probably doesn't see me that way. And I was like, motherfucker,
Try
this
me.
is my family.
Family. Anything's possible. Yeah. But yeah, that was one thing I was like, that's kind of a neat little character detail for Zarde. He's
Mhm.
not a hero, but you threaten his people, he gonna shoot you in the fucking mouth.
Cora's been there the whole time. She was one of us.
She was with you guys from episode 1. And
She
then
was, even if we forget about her.
yeah, even when everybody, including me, who was playing her, forgot about her. I forget Arcanus less, but I still forget him. I just forget him a lot less than Cora.
Because she was physically challenged.
too short.
Yeah.
I was like,
see her.
Is that
just
what
too
he's talking
focused.
about?
I don't remember what the particular phrase I heard was, but I feel like physically challenged works.
Vertically challenged.
challenged?
Vertically challenged. Yeah, that's the phrase. I was trying to
One-
think of it at GameStop earlier.
One fun and interesting thing I've noticed while I'm sitting here on the YouTube Creator Studio, we have so many episodes that have like 0 views, and then there's a lot that vary from like 1 to 50 or 60. But randomly, episode 9, Inspector Mom, has 401 views.
Dang.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
so curious as to why. Is there something important? It's got 9.3 hours of watch time.
It's the title, I think.
Who
It
is
has to be
Inspector
something
Mom?
with a title. There's something clicking on the algorithms there.
Or maybe that just happened to be one of the episodes where somebody watched like when it came out, so it got pushed further. I
Yeah.
don't know how the algorithm works, but I
have no
feel like
idea
it's
how the
somewhat
YouTube
vaguely
algorithm
like that.
works.
Oh, this is on YouTube?
Yeah, this is specifically on
everything.
YouTube.
Oh.
I wonder which now I'm thinking about that, I'm wondering which episode has the most views on Acast. Logan, we don't have any sort of like Acast startup sound or anything, right?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Da-dum.
What's your guess, Logan? Lock in your guess as to what episode you think it would be.
For which one?
Has
Which
the
one
most,
has
yeah.
the most views?
Oh, I see. Not a specific remembering. Oh, the best episode. Okay, can't be too far. You gotta have some time to marinate.
I feel like it's like
Give me the one where Mickey is hiding in a couch. So episode
God.
11.
That would be.
I forgot
yeah,
about
I think it's like
that.
episode 11. Oh, I was so mad
Zardy's
at
in
you.
the couch. Episode 11.
I was so
I just woke up
mad.
and chose violence that day and just wanted to
You
cause
didn't
problems.
wake up and choose violence. You woke up and choose goof.
I just wanted to cause
You were
problems,
just
and that was my
goofing.
solution. I think it's like episode like 12 or 13 or something. That's what I think.
But, like what that has the most views?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess it's like the first 3. Oh, episode 0 probably with 66. Wow, that's a lot more than I was thinking it would be. Actually,
The one
Wait,
that's
it's actually episode 0?
yeah. Well, episode 0 is 66. Episode 1 is 62, which immediately cuts in half for episode 2.
They heard
That's
our
the
audio
reason-
and they're like, no.
That's the reason I want to create the recap, and I need to see if I can change where it shows up on there so it shows up instead of episode 1. Not like instead of, but before. But yeah, that's actually kind of wild. And it does trickle off into the later episodes. But it is pretty consistently over 10 until episode 16. No, the Act 1 recap, I guess. Because between that is a wild sheep chase. Which
Yeah, I
now
couldn't
I've
listen
brought
to
that
that.
up. You couldn't
I
listen
can't
to
listen
Wild
to when I'm DMing.
You can't. That's fair.
When I'm playing, it
It
was
is-
fine to listen to.
Primarily DM, like being the DM, you're the primary voice people are hearing, and it's editing it sucks as someone who hates hearing my voice. But it's also been kind of a good confidence booster. It's like I'm more used to who I am and how I sound now.
Uh-huh.
When I hear my own voice, I don't immediately recoil.
I was going to say, it's hard for me to relate to that because, like, I don't necessarily dislike my own voice. It's just kind of odd to hear.
Because
But-
it does sound different, right?
Yeah, like, it does sound different, and I feel like I have, like, this nasally, like, not pleasant to listen to tone.
Same.
And, like, it's not really like, oh, I fucking hate this, I'm not going to listen to it. It's just, like, something I've observed, and I'm just like, it's me.
Yeah. But it's kind of interesting to look at how we all react to that, though, because, like, none of us really had content out before any of this. And now Mickey and I do a lot of stuff. Logan, you, like,
we-
just kind of chill, show up. But, like...
I'm
play
here
ball.
to talk
That's
in
fair.
my southern accent.
You're deep
Hey, let us hear
as-
that southern accent.
Let's do it.
Talking about next. I
We're talking about your mic cutting out.
No. Oh no.
It immediately
Talking to the
started
front of it, not
cutting
the
out.
top of it.
See, back in the Wild Wild West, we didn't have good microphones
I do
We
feel
just
like
had
it's not
cans
quite as low as it usually is.
and
here.
long cords of string.
That
It's
was
almost like
hilarious.
Eli's. It changes every episode, just slightly.
Yeah, his is more of
Oh.
a tone thing, whereas Sakuma is just like having a
random-
multiple personality crisis every episode.
Yeah,
He's-
I want to make my voice just lower and lower, but then it just doesn't pick up on the podcast, and Will goes whoop with his hands, and I go, okay, I guess I can't make it that.
He just
It's-
inches closer and closer to the mic each episode.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's hard to
ASMR.
get lower tones to project as far.
But
The
now-
thing I was taught in high school doing choir was to
Yeah.
like when you're doing it is envision your voices as like going to the front of your teeth, which is weird, but like it works.
That
don't
is weird.
know-
I can't even like conceptualize that.
Yeah, like I don't know how else to describe it because I don't remember how my teacher said it, but like she fucking encapsulated it perfectly, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. I can project my lower tones a lot easier now.
Mm-hmm.
Weird. I think how I was taught to like project is just like, gotta use your chest. Gotta
Yeah,
put
you
some
got- it
chest
comes from
into
the
it.
diaphragm.
Yeah.
Put some bass in your
Yeah.
voice.
You gotta, like, throw that shit over there.
Yeah, like a lot of it is just like you can kind of internalize the idea of your voice going out more, and it helps a lot. And that's kind of
Yeah,
helped me with
that
trying to
makes
do some of these voices. Like when I'm talking as Handy, I just kind of scrunch my nose up and I think of the nasally sounds.
And
Gotta
you
try to
named it
brighten your
after the hand job.
What? Oh, jeez.
You also named it
God,
that.
no.
That
You're
is what it was
muffled.
named after.
You did
I
call him
hated it.
Handy.
Yeah, that's my fault. It was supposed to be a pun about how he's a handyman,
He's good with his
but now he's the
hands.
handyman.
Yeah,
I'm gonna start calling
exactly.
him Hando. Hando.
Hando Calrissian.
Yeah, I was gonna make that
Hando.
joke.
I feel like there's a character in JoJo's that's named Hondo, but I don't remember.
No, it's gonna be Hando.
Yeah, it's spelled Hando, but it's pronounced Hondo.
Oh, 'cause
But I could also
Japan-
just be wrong.
Japan and all their quirks.
Yeah.
Will, before the campaign, did you kind of know what the acts would be, or have you found the act breaks as
The-
we played?
I think the act breaks have been something that have come up more naturally. Funny enough, actually, everything that happens in like the old world was originally intended to be like the halfway point of the campaign.
Oh,
Like,
Wait, where we like went to go find the moonlight fruit?
yep, that's why I got brought up was the Moonlight Fruit. So it just kind of happened earlier. That was going to be after you guys were significantly stronger, but I kind of had to just like cut it down. Like for a minute, I was actually thinking about having Valius actually go down there with you guys and then betray you when you were closer.
well, that'd be cool.
Yeah, but
How dare you
you-
betray us? Thought you were on our side as the main characters.
I was trying to think if you guys were actually been betrayed. Technically, Karakarum betrayed you guys, but
Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh, that too.
he absolutely did.
does he have the shard, or does he have the book?
You guys have the book.
He has the shard.
He took the shard.
We gotta go get that. Because I kind of thought that's what my necklace was, but I don't think it is.
Isn't that a piece of a tree?
It is the celestial bark necklace.
Yeah, piece of a tree.
Oh,
I remember the vague details.
You did remember a vague detail. Go you. Well, that's funny though, because that just me saying that makes me think of earlier today. I was talking to my brother's wife about like, surprising him. She was like, "I'm surprised I've been able to keep the secret from him for like 8 months." I was like, "Fucking me too." I'm horrible at keeping secrets from him. I really expected to have let it slip at some point by now.
I don't know how much people are going to trust this since I'm just saying it, but I feel like I am exceptional at keeping secrets.
Do you have some podcast
I can't
secrets?
think of anything you've kept secret from me and like revealed later on, but
Well, I mean, like, if somebody, like, literally says, don't tell anybody.
Don't tell
like,
anybody, yeah.
I'm not going to go tell anybody.
yeah. Yeah, I think I'm pretty good about it too. There's sometimes like the confidants people that I will go to that are never going to meet these people, or if they do, it's long after the secret is relevant.
It's like a
But-
spoiler after after a certain amount of time, you can just blabber about it anyway.
Yeah. It's like, oh, something we're keeping secret for now. But like, I'll talk to someone like my brother or someone that's not going to meet this person or won't for years, potentially. Though I've been pretty good about keeping a lot of the spoilers for the podcast out of people's ears.
We've tried
Give us
so
a
hard.
spoiler. Spoil some things for us, Will.
You guys
Eli's
are
not
all
here,
gonna
we
die.
can-
I
But
would
then we're
like
gonna
somebody
be-
to die.
It'd be interesting for a player character to die.
Make
Mhm.
somebody else other than me die, because I know you're gonna fucking target my ass.
No, I don't try to target you. You just are prime for being shot at for some reason. I don't know why. Like,
Or stabbed.
see, okay, so the whole thing with Sins of the Father, which was episode 21, the one where you almost died, was I was just trying to create drama around your characters, trying to give your character more motivation, which ended up having me be pushed to the point of almost killing you.
I think it worked out.
And
I
now
got
you're
that
like,
cool ass
"Dad,
staff
What the
and
fuck?
said-
Dad? You would not stop saying that during episode 32. Like, it's like every
I must-
5-10 minutes, something comes up about the Warforged you guys are fighting, and you're just like, Dad?
Dad? I must have been watching a lot of Game Grumps through that phase, and they just kept saying that shit. And they're like, "Dad," and God, it's fucking hilarious because
Oh,
it's
it's-
so random.
It's so random. Like, at first, I was like, why are you saying this? You're like, well, because the Warforged got something to do with my dad, right? I was like, yeah, but he's not here. Why are you just saying it?
Dad? If I call out to him enough, he'll just appear
Maybe.
through the
Yeah,
mana
he's
in
still
the
out there
cracks of the
somewhere.
road.
Yeah, your dad's still out there somewhere. So is Ghost. Well, I know where Ghost's dad is.
Is he a ghost?
No.
Yeah,
he
aren't
has
they
met-
fine?
Yeah, they're fine.
Yeah.
Probably.
We avoided that house, didn't we?
Did, but then they were-
originally,
they
but
were
we've seen them.
imprisoned.
They were there when Cora was there.
Yeah, they watched Cora die with you guys.
Yeah, except she didn't even really die, so I don't know what everybody's yapping about.
Oh yeah, she came back.
She's
Didn't
like-
she-
Yeah,
What's she
she's a
trying to
white
do?
Jedi now.
A white Jedi.
Gray Jedi?
Oh yeah, that one.
The lines of morality have been blurred for Cora.
During that whole reveal of like who she was working for, I definitely didn't mean to say a name. I didn't mean to give away who it was exactly. I just accidentally
really?
said it. So yeah, I guess that is a good example of me not being able to keep a secret.
I mean, it's pretty hard when you know, but you like have to say it
Like
vaguely.
it just
But
kind
we
of
would've
happened
known.
as part of conversation.
Uh-huh. We would have asked Trix, and Trix would have told us.
I think he is the one that said it,
Yeah,
which
there
is
you
weird to say because that was still me. I am Trix. I am Cora. I am all of them, but also I suddenly have multiple personalities.
Are you okay? Do you need to see a therapist?
Probably. It's 2024. Everybody needs to see a therapist.
go. True.
The problem is anybody willing to see a therapist? Because that's
Some
the
people.
main problem.
Yeah. I'd be willing. I just don't have the money. I end up devoting my time to a podcast and to books and to game reviews. I need to start figuring out a fucking format for a news thing I want to do every week.
It's very helpful actually. It's only $10 since I started doing it. $10 a session.
Oh.
I don't know what your insurance is like, but it's not expensive for me. I don't imagine it would be much different for you.
I'll have to get more information from. I hope we get to a point before terribly long where we can start doing ads, just because that would be fun. I don't know why I find it fun to do ads, but like this would be a perfect time for some of like the therapy ads, right? Like this, that's how you get into an ad read. Like I've heard so many for these different like therapy companies. I know a few I could just be like, this one, but also I'm not getting paid, so fuck no. Or I want to get sponsored by GamerSups. Just throwing that out there.
Just spam
Sponsorship
Slack.
goals is.
Just spam him
I
so
wonder if
much
I could
so much that
eventually
it's
actually get through to him. But see, that's like a reckless clout goblin kind of thing, and that's not what I want to do.
That's
You don't want to be a
fair.
reckless clout goblin?
I do not want to be a Logan Paul.
Whoa, that was close.
Okay, how about Jake Paul either?
No, you don't want to be
Mike
either.
Tyson.
I don't want to be either of the Pauls.
Yeah.
They're both terrible fucking people. I watch too much CoffeeZilla to like either of them.
I thought you
And
saying you didn't want to be
cancer.
me though, and I was offended.
No, Logan is the greatest hype man in the world.
Thanks.
Like, you're always asking me questions about like this and the books and all this, and I'm just like, I cannot keep up with this man, but it's also keeping me going. Like, I was like, oh, now I have his brain jogging juice. Is how I'm putting that, and now that's out in the open that way.
I love
Yay.
the content.
It's
I know
like
what you need,
caffeine.
Will. You just need to call Logan on a Discord call or some shit and just like stay silent as you're like doing something. Just have Logan right there just watching you.
Just start
Yeah.
sitting in our fucking sessions or chit chat channels. I love the fact that we have a chit chat channel and we have never used it because I always go into sessions because we're doing sessions.
Yeah, like
that would have
there.
been perfect for this.
It's still technically a session though.
You know what? I got you. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Is he gonna rename it? Because if you leave, it's way more complicated.
He changed its setting or status to chit chat.
Shit.
Speaking of this chit chat, carry on while I go get some water.
Okay. I'll ask Will the hard-hitting questions.
Do it.
Yes.
Hard-hitting question. Does Sakuma, Pelope, Nina, y Grothos ever have a chance with Violet?
That's a great question, and I honestly have no idea. It would more depend on if I can figure out a way that I feel is PG enough, and also like I don't have to deal with that. It can happen so long as I don't have to deal with it.
Because the first time they meet, he says something outrageous to her.
Dude, he
And
keeps
then-
saying outrageous shit.
Yeah, he rolls pretty good, and I think that's the closest he ever gotten. It's only basically gone downhill since that first meeting.
I'm trying to remember what I want to say it's shortly after you guys wake up, after the time skip, where he's trying to flirt with her, and then I say something back, and I specifically remember him turning red after I said it, and just like being embarrassed. I was like, "Guy, fucking win!"
I also really love the bronze of it all. Like the fact that you have to deal with their dad, basically. Is it her actual father?
It's her father figure.
Yeah, exactly.
Not her
But
actual
the
father.
fact that you have to deal with her dad in order to like, and he's just always there is so funny.
It is really great. That's one thing about being a DM though. Is like I'm constantly at every point of view in all of these conversations. I'm like I have to do like 4 different parts right now. It's hard to keep up with sometimes, and I've noticed.
Let me make you talk to yourself.
Yeah, when I do that, when that happens, I have noticed that I will like say the name of whoever I'm talking as before I start talking. Like,
Yeah.
I'll say something in one voice that especially if it's like 2 similar voices, I'll say something in one voice and then say the name of whoever I'm switching to and say something in their voice. Like there was a short conversation between Valius Corbin and Corbin Austin. Which is, it's not any less confusing when I'm switching between them But that I did have to point out what I was like switching because they've got fairly similar voices. Or did. I forgot that Corbin Austin's voice changed when
Yeah.
you gave him a new body
We reincarnated him.
into a dark
It's a
elf.
black man.
Reincarnated.
One other thing I've noticed is Mickey gives me the most editing. He gives me the most reasons to have to edit something.
That's
Like,
really funny.
I was editing this episode. I was like, 80% of this shit I have to change and like beep is because of Mickey. Even though I did only beep one thing in episode 32.
What, am I not fitting your glove?
You're not content friendly sometimes. You're not advertiser friendly sometimes.
Yeah, you're.
Which is
hurting
why
our
I want to get sponsored by GamerSubs because they sponsored the Misfits. They will sponsor anybody.
I was gonna say they probably won't give a shit.
We are saying so much less than some of the crap they used to say.
I feel like back to those ads, I feel like those like custom ads are for like huge established people.
Yeah.
Like Game Grumps or Misfits or like fucking Mark, Bob, and Wade. Like they literally just record them talking about some shit, and that's the ad.
Well, from my understanding, is generally how it works is you're given some ad copy, which is like general talking points, and you have like you talk about it, and you kind of improv some of it, or you go directly off of the ad copy, and then you send it to them, and then they like approve it, send it back, or approve it, and you can just add it then. Which is why so many of them end up having like little offshoots in the conversation. Something I noticed while I was listening to Dungeons and Daddies is they go off on a tangent all the time in their ad reads. Like it's a common thing, and Logan knows he's listened to them.
Maybe I know.
That's one thing that's kind of always fascinated me is like the metrics behind like YouTube, Twitch, and all like the social media platforms. Just because like if I'm watching somebody, I have no idea what actually helps. Like on Twitch, there's the channel points thing, and like you can use different things. Does that help them in any way, or is it just fun?
I think some of it is just fun, but there's a lot of things like all the indie artists I follow, the nerdcore group, when they're talking about like a lot of them are like, I'm so grateful for this community and all that, and they're like talking about how their watch time is more than the actual video. So like people go back and like dissect things, and it'll be like, oh, it's a 4-minute song in video, but you got like 4.5 minutes watch time. So watch time is definitely part of it.
Yeah, if the same person watched it twice, is that 200% watch time or is it 2 views?
I think it depends on how you do it exactly.
Like if you don't let the video stop and you just rewind, I feel like that's watch time. But if you like the video ends and then you have to like restart it, I feel like that's another
You
view.
come back to it, yeah.
Yeah.
So I know I've been part of plenty of videos where I probably have like 75 views on that damn video.
Yeah. That's part of the reason I don't go into like the actual videos for us. Is because I don't want to artificially inflate the views and everything. Like I want. We've actually had the discussion too about like not. Oh, excuse me. Not 5-starring or reviewing our stuff on Spotify or any of that ourselves.
Because to me that seems very disingenuous, and you are trying to like create something that's not actually there.
Yeah, at least when we're smaller. Like if we had like 400 fucking reviews, that wouldn't be as big of a deal. But when we're first starting out, it makes a much bigger difference.
Yeah, like I feel like we've gotten, I don't know, mostly 5-star reviews. I haven't checked in a while, but like
we're sitting at
like
7 reviews with 4.4 on Spotify.
So yeah, I think we've missed one.
We had one star.
Yeah, probably an episode 1.
No, we have a 1 star?
Yeah, you don't remember that?
No.
It was like our 4th review ever.
And fuck, I forgot where I was going.
I don't remember.
It's gone. But on the topic of like podcast production things, I feel like for the YouTube side, since we're doing digital, I don't know what Logan's situation is entirely, but I feel like both you and Eli need like an actual setup because like your audio is not always the greatest. Eli's also isn't. To me, if I was listening, that would drive me insane. So like I feel like that's something we need to try to like work into and like I don't know, fix, I guess.
Well, and you
And then
also are only temporarily, or at least you're fairly new in that place, right, Logan?
Yeah.
Like, you don't have
Yeah.
it fully set up. Like, you'll have probably more stuff on the walls and more stuff like that. So it'll slowly get
That's
better in
sound.
time.
Well, that's what I
But it has
like.
a
I
cap.
didn't know Logan's situation, but also
Yeah.
I feel like for the YouTube side, since we're on Discord, we could just record that little window and just put our faces on it rather than just like the I don't know, splash screen, the logo.
Yeah,
That
but
way
that's
it's a
only
little-
if everybody's comfortable. Like, if I could find a way to do it where the people who are just comfortable, or just the people who are comfortable are popping up, then I can do that.
I
I
wonder
just
if
need
there's
to
like
figure out how
a
to set it up.
almost like a snip capture, if that makes sense, on OBS, so you can just like
Like,
capture a tiny
specifically
window.
capture a part of it, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
but that way there's like something to look at on YouTube if people
And-
really want it.
You would have, like, I would randomly hover over me, and it just says God in the bottom left corner, in all caps, and Zarde Margalobos.
I mean, and then we could like either like put our Discord faces or try to make like some kind of character bubble.
I do
Oh,
want
there you
to.
go.
So one thing I really want to do when I can get some spare cash put together for it is I want to reach out to an independent artist and get character art done for all of you guys. I
That'd be
also
so
want to
cool.
get like a big group shot picture of everybody that's like friendly to you guys, like the crew of the Gilded Wing, Arcanus, Cora, you guys, Karakarum at some point.
The
Like,
lore.
The people who have kind of been a part of this group, including Percy too, because he's been more actually part of the group lately.
True.
I-
That's hard because it's like you want to do that early just so you get the most time enjoying it, but then you also don't want to do it too early because who knows what friends we're gonna find still.
Yeah. Like, I kind of want to do. It would be like just before episode 16, the group, including Percy. Because he was still kind of just part. Like, people who have gone on the adventures with you and been actual characters I've used, not like Silas.
Percy
Silas
witnessed
doesn't
the
get a
floating body.
picture. Does Trix get a
Correct.
picture?
Yeah, I want to have Tricks in it too. Maybe I could just find an artist I really like, start with getting one for the end of Act 1, and then like do it for each act after that.
Oh, that'd be so cool. Especially because then you could see as it grows.
And I'd like to do like a tapestry, like big group thing going on at some point. Like all the big main characters that have kind of been central to the plot. That would be you guys and Silas and everybody. I think that'd be really fun. That would probably cost me. I'd want to pay someone good money to do that because that's a lot of people and a lot of detail.
That would be really cool though, because I was thinking about like a before and after, like the portrait, like when we start, and then like the portrait after the campaign ends.
Yeah.
And just see like the difference in all the group.
Like I really want to find an artist that I can start working with, because another thing about like the audio quality is when you bring that up, it makes me think of I listen to a lot of Rustage's podcasts like One Piece D&D and Isekai D&D, and they are done through a Discord call, I believe, and you can like hear audible differences between their audio qualities.
Oh, really?
Yeah, trying to think of which one's usually the worst. It's not one of the rappers.
While you think of that, what I meant by audio quality is just like, cause like mine and yours, Will, is it's mostly consistent, or at least so I think. I can't really hear myself when I'm talking at me. But like every time we're
consistency, that
talking,
makes sense.
it's mostly consistent. Like we sound the same. We're never really like out of range per se. We have like our mics in specific spots. We got a boom arm, shit like that. And like you don't need all that, just like a specific spot to where you know your mic's gonna work and like it's
Just like
gonna
having
be
a
the same.
desk,
Yeah.
which
True.
I think is probably gonna be on your guys' dockets, I assume.
And
Like,
then Eli's just like sitting on his chair getting
Look,
in
it's
his
just
teepee,
or not like
yeah.
Eli's just laying in bed, which
So
like
comfy.
fair.
He's like a half passed out, just like zoned the fuck out.
Just yeah,
I can't
Well,
throw
he
crackers at
works-
him anymore.
yeah. You can't
It's
do
so
that
comfy.
either. It-
Cozy up me into bed.
That is the thing that sucks though. Is like he works similar hours. I don't know what hours you work, Logan, but like Eli works similar hours that I do. That's why he's giving me a ride on Saturday morning. It's like fucking 4 a.m. He's the only person I know that's gonna be up and awake around then.
A little early.
So like doing these episodes later at night. That's why this is my second energy drink since we started. To
I've
be
been
fair,
hitting like the
I
7
opened
a.m.
the
to
other
6
one like
p.m.
an hour first. What was that?
I've been hitting the 7 to 6.
Yeah.
It's been pretty doable.
That's rough.
It's only 4 days too, which is nice though.
That's not rough.
Yeah, I was picking up I've been picking up more days doing like my regular 12-hour 3 to 4 day weeks and then adding anywhere between 8 to 12 hours at least once a week. If not twice on my short weeks. And that's doing the podcast with that is very hard.
Dude, you were going hard there for a minute. It was like fucking a 2-month stretch where you were just like going all the
5-day
time.
weeks, fucking 12-hour days.
I feel like you were just like at that point in your life, you were just like, man, I'm fucking strapped for everything. I'm trying to do all this shit. I don't have any money.
Well, it was
And in
also
reality, you did,
trying to
but,
get
like,
prepped for vacation.
yeah, and like
Like I was trying to save up
that
extra.
shit sucks. That shit sucks, but at least you like had the motivation. I feel like it's starting to kind of calm down, and like I think you said you paid your PC off the other day,
Yep.
and
Ooh.
like that probably helps. That's a whole fucking
That's
load
like
off.
$240 extra in my pocket a month. And you know what's hilarious about all of that is I've actually the last couple of days been saying I'm going to finish out the rest of the year without any overtime. And that first full week of 2025 is when I'm going to start going fucking hard again so I can get any collections I have paid off, all my financial shit fixed so that I can then pay off my car. I want to have my car paid off by this time next year so that I can be in a place financially that I can actually start dumping money into this. So I can like upgrade equipment and help other people upgrade equipment. Yeah, I'm fucking going too quick for my words now. But like,
Me being me, that sounds like an absolutely insane goal because you just how long ago was that?
got the car?
Yeah.
February after I crashed my last one.
My God, it's been like a year already. But like, I've had my loan for a car I don't even own anymore for like 5 fucking years.
And I don't want to
Because
have
it's such
any
a-
debt. Well, and
Yeah,
like
like,
there's
I-
also I'm doing the self-publishing and all that. I want to have more money every month. And if I don't have another $422 coming out every month, that's a lot more money to work on all this crap.
Is that with insurance? Because Jesus Christ.
No, it is not. That's why I need to get it paid off. Or at least
Yeah,
to a
like-
point I can refinance it for cheaper.
I own my car now, and like I still have that other payment, but it's only that payment, and it's like $300. It's like it's not that bad,
Yeah,
but
and like
it's still
having
just draining.
Yeah, exactly. And like if I can get to a point where all of my bills are payable from one paycheck in a month and I get 2 paychecks a month, I can start putting a lot more into this and then I don't have any extra stress from like everything else I need to do. I can just focus on working on all this crap, which is why I want to just get it done.
I
That'd be
feel
nice.
that's so hard.
And
Cause like,
I think I've proven at this point that when I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to goddamn do it.
as long as you have the proper motivation.
Yeah. Like there's definitely stuff around home that like I'm so focused on doing everything else that I fall behind around, and that's what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah,
Like
I mean,
before all this.
I know I fall behind on some things, but the philosophy I guess that I live by is just like if I'm there and it takes like 2 minutes to do, or I try to find the fastest way to do something the best way. You know? Does that make sense?
Yeah, and that's a nice thing about like living with you is you are very good about reminding me to do this other little shit that it's like this is gonna take you 5 minutes to fucking do. Just go fucking do it, even if you get frustrated in that moment because it's like you got 3 other things on your mind and someone else brings up something else.
Yeah, like my whole thing is like if I'm not in the middle of something like streaming, for example, if I'm just like playing a game, yeah, I want to get back to my game, but if I see something, I'm like, I gotta deal with that. If I have the mental capacity to actually deal with it at that moment, I will do it. And that just kind of helps a lot. Like, my fucking counter's a mess right now, but that's... there's been a lot of other shit going on. And
You can see my hoodie on the ground in the background.
Yeah. And it's not, like, something that's gonna, like, get worse as it sits there. It's just the same. So, like, that problem is low on the totem pole. Also, this is your cayenne pepper sitting right here.
Ooh.
Yeah, I want to get shelves.
There's a fucking mouse in here. Like a bookshelf like mine, or just like wall shelves.
Just something I can display shit on because I need to get my Veilguard Collector's Edition stuff off the ground.
Oh no!
It's sitting in a it's sitting out of the way. It's like sitting in my in my closet, but it's on the ground, and I want to get it up and off of that, and I want to display it because it's cool. Like, it's cool when I want to have more of a setup here, especially if we do get to a point where I'm just like recording our faces and everything, or like the comfortable, the visuals for the podcast, because I want it to just be cool. I want it to be me, which is right now, this background is very me, but it's not fully there.
Yeah, it's like, well,
very green.
It's half baked.
Yeah. Like there's just something missing in this spot right here. There's something going on pretty much everywhere else, but right here, which is not helpful because right now this is audio only. But
I was gonna say, including your floor.
This, but not this.
Yeah, the floor. It's a floor. I've watched a couple streamers. Moist Critical doesn't have something on his floor. Fucking Mizkif has a big open floor and a gigantic door, the largest door known to man.
Also, you got to think about like comparing yourself to those people. Like those people literally do that for a living, have an entire room for it.
That's pretty much what this office is, though.
And like I imagine if they're like gaming or something, they might not be in there because like people like Markiplier, or I imagine fucking what's his name, Charlie, Moist Critical.
Yeah,
he probably makes an exorbitant amount of money, so like he can have whatever the fuck he wants at any point in time. Like me and you and Logan, all of us, we all have to go to our day jobs, come back, either do this or like spend what little time we feel like we have and just exist.
Yeah. Taking it back to the podcast, though, that's kind of the thing I like about this, though. Like, I want to make a new trailer to put up on Spotify that's like explaining why this is what I want to do. Like, this is how I want this built. Like, this is very much an everyman's D&D podcast. This is just 4 or 5 friends, depending on where you're at in the series, sitting together, playing some D&D, bullshitting, having fun. But, like, I am indie, but I am a published author. I really enjoy story writing, and I want to share that. So I get to put in what I want to put in. You guys only have to put in what you want to put in. I just put in a little bit extra to also do the editing. Like, this is not Critical Role. This is not Dungeons & Daddies. This isn't even Girls Who Don't D&D. This is half-baked D&D. It is people putting in as much as they want, they feel they need to for D&D. And then one guy in the group, the DM, recording it, editing it, and publishing it. Like, it's is a more of a passion project right now. It's not something we're making money off of. It's not something that's just like, oh, this is our lives now. This is something that I do with you guys, and it's fun, and I get to really work on my storytelling too. Like, this is benefiting me more in practice than in money.
All right, yeah.
It is. I feel like it is very fun. And like, I mean, I know I just show up, but I feel like that kind of adds to the whole half-baked thing. Cause
The half-baked,
Logan, have we told the story to you, Logan, about how this name came to be?
I do not think
yeah.
so.
Well, as it may be common knowledge, it may not be. I used to be like a hardcore stoner. I think like 2 years ago at this point. Like that was
like 4 months before we started playing the preseason podcast.
Yeah, and like I was just like I'd come home after work, just take a fat old dab, just get
And then
really
we'd sit
stoned,
there in
turn
the
off
living
my
room, play
brain.
some Borderlands.
Like I'd get lost somewhere. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Like, and I was just I had got the ideas like I wanted to do like a Game Grumps style thing, just like I don't know, sitting in a couch or an office playing like co-op games or what have you, just like fucking around, having fun. And like I thought I'm baked all the time. You're not. Will's not, and like that means we're like
Half-baked.
half baked.
That's
Yeah.
so silly.
And like
And I
originally
think-
that was our duo name was like Half Baked.
Wasn't the name you came up with like Half Baked Entertainment or something?
Yeah, something
Half-Baked
like that.
Industries or some shit like that. I was like, dude, that's actually kind of sick.
And then it turned into Half Baked D&D, which actually has nothing to do with getting stoned and everything to do with this is half thought out by
Yeah,
most of
it
us.
works so well.
Like I think you and Logan plan the most, and then me and Eli just kind of show up with like vague ideas of what we may do.
And like if there's something that is particularly interesting to you or Eli, you'll bring it up. Like Eli with wanting to poison Red Raven.
Yeah.
That was he was texting me like once every other day during that like 2-week period between episodes when we did that. And that's the most he's ever been invested, was trying to poison the dude that tried to flirt with Violet and face planted hardcore.
He was trying to eliminate the competition.
Yeah, and then like you'll bring up cool things you can do with your arm sometimes, and of course I'm just also thinking game balance. I'm like, I don't want to have to rebalance myself as much. That's kind of what it is.
I want to be broken.
Yes, and I also don't want to rip away the fun of like giving you guys something to try to overcome. And so I try to make it cool. I try to make it stronger, but I also try to make it so it's like not a one-person thing.
Yeah. It's gone. Never mind.
Relatable.
Completely
well,
lost that. Go
Do you
ahead,
feel
Logan.
like when you told us to break the game, have we done that kind of?
Yes.
Or did you want it
Yes.
further?
Yep. Nope.
Oh,
You've
yeah.
done it. You've made somehow all of this look like I have tried to make the most broken, disgusting, unbalanced monsters, and you guys end up just like dropping them really quickly, like in our most recent boss fight, which I will not go into details because that's not going to be released by the time this comes out. But you guys just completely fucking obliterated. I did manage to get you guys in episode 32 though, with the Wardens and the Rot Warriors.
Yeah.
They gave you a hard fucking time. Because I made them tanks because they're walking robot people. Though I was very disappointed in myself for not fully committing to the chainsaw thing. The ones that have the chainsaw arms, which I straight up got the idea from Resident Evil 4 when Leon does his unnecessary backflip. That boss inspired the Rot Warriors. It's unnecessary.
For Leon, it is fully necessary.
He is the king of unnecessary backflips, which makes it necessary to maintain his title. And that's
He
why
is the
people
actual
love him.
king.
As the Co-op 64 boys would say, he is the ultimate badass. And by both of the boys, I mean Nick. His brother, not so much.
I am a little worried for what this Dreamer final battle is going to be.
I feel like out of everything, that one's probably gonna be the broken one.
That
That
one's
one's gonna be a fucking ordeal.
So here's the thing: is by that point, I feel like the story is going to be very not fractured, but like there's going to be so much going on all at once. That's going to be like a 5-episode fucking special of like shit going on in different places. I brought
that's
this
cool.
up with you, but because we have people coming and going occasionally, we get like one group doing this and the other group doing that, and like 2 episodes per group trying to fucking resolve different conflicts and bigger fights going on all at once. It's hard to describe exactly what I'm thinking, but like I'm seeing complicated plots to the level of Endgame and Infinity War.
That makes me think of the like I guess war battle we did in the tower. I think it was the Vampire Tower.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah, that was so good. That's like our first real fight.
Yeah, we like split the party, didn't we? And there was like 2 different things going on. We just like split back and forth almost.
So what exactly happened there was Jacob wasn't available for 1 or 2 episodes. So he disappeared and had his own thing going on with his patron, which Logan actually was just talking to me earlier. He heard all of that for the first time because I recorded something separate that I worked with him on that kind of resolved what was going on with him. Well, you guys did your thing, but at the same time, we had Cora, Infernus, and Zip off doing more shit on their side, more investigations, and it all culminated in you guys returning for that battle with the Nightmind, with Jacob slamming through the wall.
I thought that was going to be a lot harder.
I did too.
Going
back to the whole, did you manage to break the game thing? Yes, you did.
Yes.
Yeah, I think the last episode we did is where I feel like I've actually somewhat built my character cohesively because like I did so much fucking damage that
You
turn.
were going off. You were popping off for sure.
That was the only time I feel like I've done anything like remotely significant. And I was like, yes, I feel like a god.
I don't even remember exactly what you were doing, but yeah, you went off and actually
I
so
did
did
like
Logan.
150 damage in one turn.
Throwing
Who went
rocks.
down? Someone went down. I don't know.
No.
They'll get to that eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot that happened in
favorite
that
arc so far, Will?
Huh?
To DM. Have you had a favorite arc to DM so far?
I definitely think Act 2. Or arc? Shit. Oh, that's hard to say.
Arc Survival Evolved. So.
Well, okay, so here's the thing: is like the Air Pirates and the Dreamer arc that was 11, 12, and 13. That was really cool because episode 13 was like a event that I had envisioned since pretty much the beginning of this. Like that was one of the first things I had the idea for. So that one was really fun. Same thing with immediately after in the old world, but I think the last few arcs have been my favorites because of the amount of work that have gone into the diversity of storytelling.
You are unreasonably close to your mic.
Am I? Whoops. I had to get closer to fucking scroll through this and get like an idea.
You just moved forward and you did.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it.
Episode 13 was also our like first big reveal episode. Like we learned about the red tears of joy. We learned about blood magic. Bailey's Corpin was still our ally at that point. Or like we thought he was gonna be.
Yeah.
Like came together, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, we were
that was when things
getting
started
ready
coming
to ask him stuff.
And he was like,
We
"No,
came up
fuck
with
you,
our
I'm
motto.
evil."
I got my nuke on a stick.
Yeah.
Your nuke on a stick.
It
Yeah,
was a
Nature
nuke
Fury.
after Act 1 was over because that 3-year time jump. And I was like, how am I going to dispel this to not accidentally kill him? And that's
Turn me
when
into a dragon.
Yeah, that's part of the reason I turned you into a dragon. I also really wanted to give you a badass like anime rage moment
Oh,
because
it's
I
so cool.
wanted to kill Korra for a while, since she had
Okay, that's
obviously
rude.
become the best friend kind of character.
I was gonna say because we kept forgetting about her.
You know, like I think it was probably I want to say it was like episode 4. I really realized I was like, she's actually kind of a stable character now. That means I can kill her for character development.
Yeah, it was so sad. I was so upset.
It's
He's
like
just
And
in the
I
corner,
think
all like, "Yes, I'm
her
plotting her
dying,
demise."
her dying upset me a little bit, but what really upset me was when we got her back and she still wouldn't just like stay with us.
Yep. That was also kind of. I didn't plan to have her pop up for probably another arc or two, but again, it just kind of worked out, and that was a really fun.
And we like rolled pretty good to figure out it was
Fight.
her
Yeah,
and like stop her.
I feel
What do you
we
Like,
all
mean?
it's
kinda
not like
You
she was just
refused to
inside
believe
eye.
it. You had to wait
Yeah.
until Mickey called it out, and she just admitted it for you to believe it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think we
Yeah,
all kind
how
of
is she
caught
dying?
on. And I was just like, no, we're not letting this bitch leave. Guys, we know who this is.
Yeah, that's pretty much what you were saying. Yeah. That was. There's been so many more of the bombastic, like kind of fun, crazy moments, like the car chase. When I was originally coming up with the idea for this and like the vibe homework, I sent you guys that Galactic Kraken
Such a
album,
good, yeah.
and
Such a
I
good
was
hold off.
imagining very much like Uncharted type set pieces. And one of the really fun things about DMing this has been trying to figure out how to do those and still have them fun, have them like work for a podcast.
So, side note on the car chase, you said homework. That made me think that I've been terrible at homework my whole life, and I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
It's on the player sheet,
The
like when I first,
braingasm.
yeah, the braingasm. That's what it was called. It's literally the first thing is big, bold, and highlighted. Vibe homework. But yeah, I really wanted to. I wanted to create these big, like cinematic set pieces, and also try to figure out how to set those up for a D&D podcast because it's like, how does one do that?
And it works so well.
Last time I DM'd, except for the one I did with you guys and Joey back in the day, I was like 14, 15, 16 at the oldest. I was not very good at it. I was actually pretty bad. Like, I'll straight admit that. I was just like,
were.
I wasn't sure so much about how I played. At that time, I was like on my third character because I kept letting them die or getting them killed. I was just like, I don't know what I'm doing. And now that I've like listened to more actual play podcasts and like read more of the book and had some more storytelling experience, I'm like, this is a lot easier if you're just kind of trying to have fun, not create a cool story.
Yeah.
Create cool moments, not a cool story.
I really like those cool moments too, because then you get to use all your spells and abilities in like a different way than just to do damage.
And that's part of the thing I like about D&D more than video games. Like, even Baldur's Gate, which has a lot of these contingencies and like physics engines and shit, you can't just go crazy and try to cause like a cave-in most of the time.
Yeah.
Or if you can, it's in one very specific way. But in D&D, you can just like, I'm going to fireball and try to use the force to cause a cave-in right here because this would have a structural weakness. It's the joke of never play D&D with engineers because they're going to tell you how to build a nuke.
Build a nuke.
That makes me think of the idea I had that I don't think I ever implemented. I have this cone ammo spray thing. I don't remember what it's called. But it can be any non-magical kind of item. I have grenades. So
No,
I can use a grenade.
You actually
And-
tried to use that with your walloping bullets, but it technically didn't work because it was a magic item because it was magical ammo.
Yeah.
You
but
tried that
then
in episode
I think
32.
After that, I had the idea. I was like, wait, because I asked you. I remember I was like, do grenades count as ammo? And I'm pretty sure you said yes. So I was like, oh my god, I could do this. And I
I don't
just need
remember
one
that, but
grenade.
probably.
So I could just use that cantrip or whatever it is, and just throw 80,000 grenades everywhere.
Cool. So I need you to keep forgetting to do that because I will never be able to make a balanced fight again.
Okay, maybe not 80,000 grenades, but enough.
Yeah, you're gonna do a lot of damage in a lot of area, and I hope that Eli's the only one close enough because he might actually be able to dodge all of that and take no damage.
Yeah.
He's either taking half damage or no damage.
I mean, it took him like till be level 3 to start rolling 40 on his stealth checks.
Oh my god. He rolled like a 30 on something in episode 32. It was like a persuasion or deception check.
I can't even imagine, what he's doing now.
Yeah, it was stupid. Which is why I was glad I could use Valius's legendary resistance or whatever. Just be like, nah.
Like, nah, fuck you, man.
I need to use shit like that more. I need to start giving every boss legendary resistances.
I do think you kind of have to. I really like when people set it up to something like mechanically.
Yeah.
Like, even if it's not a mechanic other than something visual, then you at least see that their legendary resistances are going down.
Yeah. Speaking of mechanically, in episode 32, there is the, 1v1 duel mechanic I came up with where you could, use a reaction to parry or dodge or block or any of that. And I want to work on that more for actually the next arc that we're going to be recording. Because I think it'll be very important and it'll help to make these fights that I have planned go by quicker. We'll just have to implement some sort of timer to give it a bit more tension.
That's cool.
I want to make it a bit more, not entertaining.
Yeah.
Less distractible.
Engaging.
Mm-hmm. Is that specifically for one-on-one fights, or would it work for multiple?
It's specifically for one-on-one fights. I used it there as kind of like a beta testing for it. For this next arc, actually. I've had this next one planned for a little bit. Okay. I just have had to rearrange how things have happened. Like, that's another thing is some of these arcs I had planned for much later or much earlier, but I rearranged them to fit with our scheduling and everything.
Oh, interesting.
Like with the old world being rearranged to work to fix the diseases.
Yeah, because we had to go down there pretty quickly.
Yeah, I was gonna wait till you guys were like episode 8 or not episode 8, level 8 or level 10 ish.
Yeah.
Before doing
so
that.
That's like right now.
Oh yeah, I was about to say so now.
Yeah, it was gonna be now, but it's earlier.
Yeah, but I think imagine still having 20 health.
That
took way too long.
You would be going down in a single hit every single fight. Hey, I would have a bit more balance.
I have like a fucking 23 AC if I want it, and I'm lucky, so I could like.
Yeah, but if you got hit, you were going down. If you got hit,
if I got hit, I was fucked.
Because I'd have to still balance for these guys as well, and they've got a lot more HP than you.
So basically, I'll tell you what I do. I'd have Ghost transform into an elephant with very stubby legs, and he would just sit right in front of me.
Mobile cover.
Just get hit.
Yeah.
I think you would have to
shoot real quick.
I'd see you almost taking on more of a sniper approach, kind of flying, hanging back.
Yeah, I feel like I might have gotten like gunslinger or some shit if I was like truly capped at a squishy ass 20 HP.
I still kind of wish you would have gone with the battlesmith subclass because I feel like you turning into fucking Iron Man would have been really cool.
Is there any particular reason I can't change at certain points just because I studied it or some shit?
If you would want to change, we could definitely talk about it, and I'd want to come up with a story lore reason why it makes sense, but with you, that would actually probably be the easiest.
I mean,
you changing subclass is definitely the easiest.
My Steel Defender,
pretty damn
cool as Tin might be, like, I don't use him. I forget about him half the time. Like, it's not a good subclass that I can actually use or feel like I can actually use.
It's the exact same problem as the Beast Ranger or Beastmaster Ranger. Like, nobody really likes that. It's best in Baldur's Gate 3 when it actually functions the way you would think it does.
Yeah, and especially since like if we played it correctly, I literally wouldn't use him because it takes an action to tell him what to do. Because and then like I can't do anything, so what was the fucking point?
Yeah. Like that's the problem is it's cool, but it has no fucking point after a certain point. Also, the rave lights going on in front of you are just throwing me off. I just noticed them. That threw me off for a minute. But yeah, if
It's
you
only red
we
and blue.
we can definitely talk about getting your subclass changed and have you look at which ones you would want to do instead.
I can't
feel
guarantee
like-
I'll look into it.
I feel like we also have to get Eli's sniper rifle, hunting rifle, whatever it's called, to start doing sneak attack damage. Because I think it's like a strength weapon, so it's not eligible.
I'll
I
have to
could
look, but
modify
I
it.
feel like well, that's
Did we fix that
boom.
already?
Boom, fucking fix if we don't already have something done with it. It just, I feel like something.
I mean,
I couldn't remember if we did it or not.
Eli's good with what, like finesse weapons.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I could logically I could like reduce the weight and just like remove as much bulky things on it so it's like a lightweight sniper rifle or something. And then
yeah, more like a
Bob's
marksman
your
rifle
uncle.
instead of a sniper rifle.
yeah.
Yeah,
That'd
I
be
should.
cool.
I have a notepad thing, and I can take notes. I hope those coins jingling didn't just pick up.
It did.
Perfect.
You wanna-
Also, about the
Mhm.
rave lights you mentioned. I know people can't actually see it, but I was just sitting here listening and I was just looking at myself. I was like, damn, I look like the fucking, like the saltiest motherfucker with just like rave lights going on in the background.
You do have a little bit
'Cause I was
RBF sometimes, and it's definitely hitting right now.
Yeah, I was just sitting there looking. I was like, damn.
You were thinking.
Do you want to? The viewers wrote in some lore questions that they want to answer.
They didn't,
Viewers.
but I assume you
Mhm.
were talking about yourself now.
No, these are the viewers. So if you
Alright.
don't answer them, they'll be pretty disappointed.
I can't guarantee in case there's a potential spoiler, but I will do my best.
Okay. The viewers have put together some pieces and they're pretty sure. But did the hole from episode 1 let all the Devil Lords out?
I'm trying to think
Wasn't
if answering this could have consequences on the story. I don't think so, so no. There's also a
Okay,
good
good.
chance that anything I say Mickey will not remember, so I feel pretty
True.
confident.
well. Now that you say that, I'm gonna remember.
You're back to looking salty because you were thinking.
I was just listening, man.
Yeah, listening. That's what I meant to think. Say shit. It's late, okay?
Did Zip
It's-
take a vow of silence? I know we've got the Zip
Yes.
lore before, but
That was specifically stated in I think it was like episode 22 or something, 23.
He was a born again vocal virgin.
It was 24. Episode 24.
Wow.
Wait, what?
You heard me.
I did, and I wish I hadn't.
Everybody put in the comments. You know what Will wants to hear.
what level is Percy?
All the NPCs, as of now that you guys are level 10, are 2 levels lower than you guys.
Okay. Is there a world where we meet NPCs higher level than us, or is basically everyone gonna be level 8 or lower?
At the beginning, they were mostly higher level than you guys, but now they're going to be lower level, unless
I f-
there's a good reason for them to be. Cora is higher
feel
level
like
than you
that
guys.
Arcanist?
No, he's the same level as you guys because he's a special NPC.
Yeah. Devil Lords.
I feel like that would be a really cool thing to do. Is just like, you know, when you're playing like a game or some shit, your friend has it, he's played like me and you in fucking Warframe, just power leveling. And then I know it wouldn't really apply to this, but like imagine meeting a level 15 NPC. We got to go get, I don't know, the Shard of Reality or some shit, but it's through like this
He knows.
gnarly dungeon.
He does.
And
He does
just,
remember.
like,
Holy shit!
he just
I
like
said you
runs us
remembered.
through this, and we're all just like terrified because one shot from anything, and we're gonna fucking die.
We need to play more Warframe. But yeah, yeah, I don't think there's too many more examples of a NPC being high level. In episode 13, I think that was the Dreamer episode, Lost in Dreams. The NPCs which you guys had actually run into in episode 1 that were meant to be a larger part of the story. They were like originally they were supposed to be running into you guys fairly consistently in your adventures to be kind of like rivals. I think
rivals?
roommates home.
He just texted me asking if it was too loud, so I'm listening.
In the first session, there's people that were going to be rivals.
Yeah, they're the people that killed Zippin and Furnace's third person in the arena.
Oh,
Yeah, they were supposed to be like snooty douchebags who were supposed to seem like the actual chosen ones, and then you guys ended up being the real heroes. But they did die how I envisioned them in episode 13, of just getting unceremoniously killed off by the Dreamer to show off stakes. But it did not quite have the same effect I originally wanted for it.
Yeah, I kind of feel like the red tiers ended up taking that, like, because that's what the same episode we got introduced to them.
Yeah, and also, as of now, they are a direct foil to the 3 main players.
Like, and they were so scary. Oh my goodness, I was so scared.
They were so scary, and
especially because we were like level 4 maybe when we first saw them.
Yeah, something like that. Like you guys were at most level 5, I think. And
yeah,
I don't know. I'm just excited for them to come into play for the episodes that are going to come out.
Mm-hmm.
Like
so
it's gonna be so good, and if with my editing getting better and easier, especially 32 being the episode I've put the most editing into up to this point, if I do that again for those episodes, it's gonna be fucking good.
For everyone's reference, it usually takes Will, I don't know, like maybe 4 hours or so to edit like a full episode. He spent like all day on this shit, so I've heard.
I started about 9:30 a.m. I did not finish until about 20 minutes before Logan got in the call, about 6 p.m. So that's 9 hours straight of editing. I'm very tired right now.
And that is why I cannot do YouTube.
Fair enough. I was having fun. I was going in on it. I was re-recording some shit so that it worked better for the actual podcast itself. Why do I still have Audacity open, actually? Oh, because I had to read out. Anyways.
Okay, here's another question from the fans.
Hit me.
We've met both devils and gods, and they both seem to be basically just like super powerful versions of us. Do they have some sort of home dimension, like a heaven or hell?
That one would be a spoiler.
Ooh, interesting.
For something that's coming soon for you guys, actually.
Ooh, even more interesting.
There is so many reveals still planned. I even have a reveal for myself that I'm going to have to react to in real time, even though I've known about it for probably about 4 months now.
Do you have to roll for the reveal?
No, it's just going to happen. It's going to be revealed to you guys too, but I'm also going to have to react to it somewhat realistically.
Because we have all our friends with us, and you have to be our friends.
Yeah. Specifically, the character the reveal is tied to.
Ooh. Let's see. Place your bets now in chat. It's going to be Arcanist. That's who my bet is.
I'd definitely like to do another one of these discussions, like, after we release, or after Act 3 is over, just to hop into, like, a Discord call and do a Twitch stream of it.
That'd be cool.
Be fun. Any more questions from the viewers?
So streaming the podcast.
I don't know. I'm just kind of scrolling through my notes.
We could potentially stream the podcast there's a chance for that, but like we've said before, we need to be able to be more consistent on recording if we want to do that
Really lock in.
and be caught up in.
Yeah, I mean,
time.
I guess this is your brainchild, so like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna try.
Yeah,
to
like a schedule would help.
Yeah.
Oh, when side quest? When the fuck are the Game Awards?
Next Thursday, couple hours after I get back in town from vacation.
All right,
I-
next Thursday.
yeah.
like 6-ish.
I have to look at the exact time. It's probably maybe 5 or 6. I want to get some wings for while we're watching it.
Oh, that's
Just
fun.
like I did. Yeah, last year I got wings. It's gonna be delicious. It's gonna be
You gotta
expensive.
fly to the Game Awards.
I want to do that so bad someday. That's part of the reason I like doing this amateur games media stuff, is so I can start getting to those events and getting to like meet and talk to the people and get to, get their point of view on game design.
This is the origin story. Will's gonna end up like famous on YouTube or some shit. I'm
Dude,
gonna be like Bob and Wade.
Do you know how happy and satisfied, like fulfilled I would feel if I got to like a Jeff Keighley level of like journalism and just kind of having a presence in the games media and industry in general?
I mean, that would be pretty sick, because like, I've been kind of envious of you because like, not really in a bad way, but like you found like your thing you always want to do, and like me, I don't feel as if I have found some shit like that, because like, I just play video games, man. I don't want to put a lot of effort into shit after work. I'm so fucking tired all the time. Like, so like that would be so fucking cool to like see, just like you started with us, and it just blew up one day, and then you're just the next thing we know.
He never looks back.
My main
good
goal is to
analogy-
blow up and then act like I don't know nobody.
A good analogy I can think of that I don't think you two will understand because it's like a metal thing, but Knocked Loose performed on fucking Jimmy Kimmel the other day, and this man was like walking out on stage is like, this started in your garage, and then suddenly they were on fucking national television. So I feel like
Yeah,
that'd be a
that's cool.
really cool experience.
A similar analogy I can think of, because I think I get the general feeling, is like All Good Things, a band I've been following since like 2012 or 2014, whenever they weren't even actually a band. It was just like two people like mixing shit together and doing audio engineer shit and made some cool songs. They didn't even have a singer. They didn't have a set singer. It was just a couple guys that they had do the projects with them. And people were like seeing it on gaming videos and shit, and they're like, "Who's this band? They're so cool." And they were like, "We don't have a band or a name." And then, like 7 years later, I got to go see their first show of their first tour here in Colorado.
Yeah, it's like
I got to meet them. That was super cool.
that was probably a very similar experience to them, because at that moment that was like the biggest thing they've done. They're like, yes, this must be it.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they'll go on and like do bigger and better things, and they have that relive that same kind of I almost said trauma.
I mean, sure. If it goes south, let's hope it doesn't go south.
But that same kind of excitement, they're like, man, this started in like your basement or some shit, and like it
Started
felt
in
like it
your
was so cobbled together, and just like, look at us now.
Look at episode 1. Started at the bottom, now we're here.
Ooh, Drake reference.
Literally at the no. Ugh.
Brother,
Brother, what the fuck? And now whenever I say what the fuck, I think of that one video that keeps popping up that I keep sending to you. The fucking dude's playing mortuary assistant and just he just starts scatting and just goes along with it. That goes off. I
that
can't
video,
even,
every time it pops up, we gotta play it.
Every time it pops up, we gotta play it. And I've sent it to you like 15 times in the last 3 days. I'm not even joking.
Well, let me check my phone real quick.
Don't look at your Facebook messengers.
Well, I need to count this now. There's 1 immediately, 2 right after that, third is this like there's another video and then that one, another one, and then that one, another one.
Dude,
and
it
then
popped up
that
like
one,
2
and then
times.
that one, and then that one, and then another video, and then that was before that time.
Yeah, it popped up like 3 times in a row while I was scrolling through Facebook Reels. At one point, I was like, send, send, send. Like day 21, day 17, day 44. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, dude, there
Send.
are channels that literally just post the same video every day, and people in the comments are just like there for it. They're like, same time tomorrow, boys.
It's the same. It's the shit we do. We really do that.
Will,
Uh-oh. Here we
do you
go.
think we'll go to all the districts before the game campaign is over? Or are we gonna miss one of them
Let me.
just
I don't
because we
have
don't
the
want to
map
go
right
there?
now. Do I have the map in my concepts video? Concepts folder?
It's also in Demons and Discos. Where
Yeah.
announcements.
Oh yeah,
go?
I can actually pop this out.
Welcome and rules.
Or I think it was
Or-
announcements.
So the Demons and Disco is the particular season.
Yeah.
And
Campaign, yeah.
Half-Baked D&D is the overall like D&D thing.
Correct.
Okay. I completely forgot about Demons and Disco. There's been a severe lack of disco.
What? That's all the mana.
Yeah, it's got disco lights.
Now,
I've got
if you want
disco
It's like the
more
Easter
that
egg
would be
in
good.
one of the Rogue Squadron games where you're walking around the main menu, the Death Star hangar as Darth Vader. You do something specifically, and a fucking disco ball drops down. You just start dancing with the music, like the disco
fun.
version of the main theme. Anyways, answering the questions. So you guys have been to the Dragon District, and then you went to the Diamond District through Silver and Emerald. You had an adventure in the Magenta District and the Arrow District. Then you skipped over everything to get to the Gold District.
Is the Bronze District where we did the unionizing?
The Bronze District is where you guys are right now in the story. The Magenta District was where you union.
Oh, uh-huh.
No,
What do
Arrow District was unionization.
Oh,
what
nice.
do you
Yeah,
mean
you're right.
we? That was
Hey.
all you, little man.
You guys have also had adventures in the Rogue District and now the Paper District. So you have not been to Financial, Violet. Yeah,
There's a
Violet-
Violet District?
it's immediately above the
Huh?
Arrow District.
Someone
the
would
Common
love
District.
that.
Right. Or the Speckled District, which I don't remember what most of those are.
Dog
I
Speckled
actually-
District has to be the Disco District.
I forgot that Violet, Common, and Speckled actually exist, and Financial even, which is actually the second biggest district behind Bronze. I need to post this map on Facebook actually, and on
Very
X.
cool.
I really need to get better about our social media if this is going to pop off.
The one thing I've heard about social media in general is like the only way to like get good at it is to destroy your life and hate yourself and fully commit to it.
Yeah, and that's
True.
the problem. Like with Logan re-listening to the podcast, he's sending me bits and bobs of when to like pull stuff out and make TikToks of it. And that's really the only one I kind of care about at this point. Because
TikTok. Yeah.
if I'm just doing one and I just randomly post on Facebook or X whenever a new episode's going out, cool. That helps a lot. Because it just is something there. It can potentially get viewers. But TikTok, there's a lot more people. It's a lot more possible for them to just scroll onto it, especially with hashtags and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like,
Random TikTok videos, even like 1,000 views,
Like-
is pretty small for a TikTok video, but that would be big.
I've been really invested in the Casual Gaming Conversation podcast, which is two brothers and a couple of their friends, Co-op 64. I randomly found them on TikTok, and they've become one of my favorite groups because they talk my side of gaming. Like Connor, the
cool.
older brother, is straight up. He's got all the same interests as me. He talks Kingdom Hearts fucking constantly. After my birthday, when I got a PS2 from my friends, I was starting to play Kingdom Hearts, and Mickey and our other roommate were they just walked in like, there's Will playing Kingdom Hearts again. Fuck yeah, I'm
Yeah.
playing Kingdom Hearts again. It's the third time since I moved in with you fuckers, and I'm gonna do it again.
He played like
Yeah.
all of those games within like a month. That's the only thing he did.
Yeah, it was November and October last year. I played through 1, 2, and 3.
On the social media topic, I feel like a good way to do that is as you're editing, and like obviously you're listening to it, so like just I don't know how
Making
your editing
notes and
platform
stuff.
works, but I'm somewhat used to DaVinci, which you can put markers in. So either put markers in or just like rip that clip and just like put it in a folder somewhere. That way you have it. And eventually, as you've edited so many episodes, you just have a backlog of just like random shit to post.
Yeah, I need to start doing that more with editing, especially since I'm going to be a bit more active in it. What I can do is I can like split the clip around what I'm looking at, and I can figure out something to do from there. I just need to remember to do that because it's not something.
That's cool.
It's something I need to get in the habit of doing going forward.
I feel like you could very well utilize like sticky notes, but then I also think about like you actually using sticky notes, and I'm just imagining your monitor filled with different sticky notes.
I may or may not
because
have
you
3
just-
sticky notes currently open on my PC right now. I'm not even joking.
No, I mean physical sticky notes. That
Oh,
you
yeah,
have
that
to
would help
look at
too.
them. Like
That
you
would
look
help
at your
too.
monitor and it's right there, and you're like, "Oh
Just
yeah."
start
'cause,
sticking them across the bottom because it does have like a perfect spot for them. Does this thing actually
Yeah.
have
Ooh.
speakers on it?
I don't think so.
It almost looks like it does, but
It
I
does
think you're
look
right.
like it. I think I saw that and was like, "Does it?" and looked into it. I don't think it does. But
We have
yeah,
the
I feel like
same
that would be a
monitor.
good. Yeah. I feel like that would be a good way to like build up the potential posting portfolio.
Yeah, or have like a notebook I can keep on the desk.
Yeah, that way you
It's
can,
like the
put down
notebook I
timestamps
keep
and
with
shit.
me for like notes when I think of something for my books. I would definitely.
Then you-
Logan brought this up at one point. I'd want to do maybe a one shot or a short campaign in that world.
Yes. I want. It sounds.
I
so
thought he was
cool.
muted when he first like made the yes face.
I just didn't want to yell real loud.
But yeah, that would be really
in
fun.
what world?
The world of my books.
Oh,
That's
Yeah,
another
I
pretty
should've
low
put that
magic
together.
setting. There's humans, trolls, elves, and gnomes.
But you have to roll to get your race, and if you roll a 1 to 17, you have to play a human.
no, I'm gonna be a gnome because I already have the perfect meme for that. I'm gonna be a gnome archer that doesn't have gnome bows, and he just uses a regular ass bow.
So, the weird thing that I have actually come up with this the last couple days even was I was thinking about like the different races. And first of all, Logan, you'll probably understand this when I say this. I accidentally made trolls into like sloth people, kind of.
Yeah, I like your sloth people trolls.
And the gnomes are kind of a weird mix of dwarf and gnome when I think about it.
I'm gonna be a very short gnome.
Yeah.
What was the name of the gnome in The Point of Balance? I can't remember. I need to pull this. I need to look at this now.
Yeah, well, because when I'm reading a fantasy book, I want the races to be new in some way. And so the sloth people gnomes, I felt like sloth trolls was quite an inspired take.
Also, check out this dope ass Dungeons and Dragons thing that Mickey gave me the other day because he didn't want it.
Whoa!
It's a lunchbox.
Is it like a lunchbox? Yeah, that's so cool.
What are you looking at, Mickey? Why are you looking weird like that?
Oh, you just pulled that out. You got what was inside of it, yeah?
It's got that little thermos, right?
Yeah. My Leslie got that for me, my ex, and just like, it was a nice thought. I appreciate that she got that for me because I mean she knew we had a podcast and played D&D or whatever. But it's like this, like, I don't know. I kind of feel like D&D's fun. Don't get me wrong, but it's not like a me thing. So like she got it for me. It was cool, but it's also like not useful at all. So I
Yeah.
had no idea what to do with it.
It's going on the shelf to Will's right, or
Yeah,
I
I
guess
feel-
Will's left. All
I
It
right.
is
thought
my- it
Will
is
would
to my
get
right.
more use out of it than I would.
At the very least, it'll make a really nice piece to go in the background as well.
Yeah.
Like it's much more my aesthetic.
Yeah. And me, I'm like techie and nerdy, I guess.
It's got a cool retro vibe.
'Cause that's where Moore's is.
Mickey, when you come up with stuff for Zardy, is it always like what is that?
It's exactly what you think it is, and I'm not gonna let the.
How did you just notice that he pulled it up like 20 minutes ago?
That was not 20 minutes.
No, it was.
Yeah, that was like an hour ago.
I was in contemplation. When you come up with Zardy stuff, is it always like how you feel in the moment, or do you have some idea of who Zardy is in your mind?
Usually it's kind of how I feel in the moment, but I feel like he kind of emulates me in a way. I mean, I think everyone's character does, but people do different things with him.
Yeah.
But I think it's more like mostly me minus. I think Zarde is probably much more like blunt and like kind of an asshole in a way. Not really like an outward asshole, but like he really just does what he wants for himself.
Because it's like the only time you can do that.
Yeah, because I mean, like, it has no real consequences. I can't just like fucking hide in a goddamn couch in a store without getting arrested.
Was the question what, like, where he gets the inspiration for Zarde from?
Yeah, and like how premeditated it is. Like, does he have some idea in his mind, or when something is gonna happen, he just comes up with it?
Would you agree with me, Mickey, that it's kind of a character of like you? Like it's an over-exaggerated version of you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that is what he said.
Okay.
Like,
I was busy looking through the book, and I wanted to get caught back up in the conversation.
And like, obviously, Zarde has his reservations and stuff as he's changed, but it's like mostly me. But usually, decision making, I have ideas sometimes, and it's usually like with my items or something. So like, none of it's really premeditated. I'm more of just like fuck it and find out.
When there's story stuff, is that stuff that almost always Will comes up with, or do you?
Well, like I feel like I have a slight hand in it, just like maybe like the inspiration for it, but he comes up with the actual lore and like how to make it work and all that kind of stuff.
Like, did you know who your father was before we knew who your father was?
I had no idea I even had a dad. Like, Barbly Margalobos, I think, was me, but Will came up with the actual character itself.
Yeah. Did Zarde come out of an egg?
That depends on how Eric Cochran are born, I guess.
That's their next lore question from the fans when Will gets back. He's gonna hate it.
I'm gonna look this up.
Show chat.
Yes, that's how they're born.
Oh no! Okay.
Let's ask the man.
Will.
Okay.
Are Eric Akra born from eggs in your world?
Die of Destiny.
Dive.
Probably wouldn't be fucking rolling tonight. This is gonna be loud.
This is a
Yes.
Yay!
It's
That's
like
crazy that you were inside an egg not that long ago.
It's like a pregnancy too, because apparently Eric Cocker are born from eggs, and they take about 8 months to hatch.
Ooh.
Which is actually weird now that I think about it, because like birds don't take that long to hatch from their eggs. But also,
these are human-sized birds.
Yeah, their lifespan is probably closer to like proportionate. Probably, except for like parrots.
They don't usually live longer than 30 years, but their maturity is age 3.
Whoa. Have we ever figured... Is like Zarde like 17 years
15.
old or something like that? 15?
I thought he was like 12.
You might be 12. The last I remember hearing was 15, but I
maybe
also
15 was because that was after the time jump.
Oh, I'm looking it up.
Time jump Zarde.
That could be. You could have that right.
Like he's technically 12, but his ID says he's 15.
Physically, he's 12, but chronologically, he's 15.
Yeah.
Oh, he's 12 years old.
Hell yeah.
When did you know you wanted to do a time jump? Was there always a time jump in that part of the arc, but then when it got moved up earlier, it affected things differently?
I don't remember.
That's pretty cool.
Okay, so it happened, but like between episodes, I just was like sitting there and I was like, oh my god, that would be such a fucking plot twist. So I did it.
Yeah.
And it worked out. And it really gave me a way to introduce everyone and kind of add a little bit of what the fuck, you guys really do have all the weird shit happening to you.
Was that because of whatever magic went with the really old guy that was there?
Yeah, because he was using a sort of time magic.
Yeah, we stepped in the bubble, and then that's kind of where it happened. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
everything slowed
Arcanist was down
around
there,
it.
and he didn't necessarily.
Yeah,
get the
because he
3D.
was outside of the bubble when
Uh-huh.
when all that happened. He had his own shit go on.
Yeah, he was fighting Valius, wasn't he?
Yep.
He's fighting Joe.
Who's Joe?
Joe Mama.
No.
It's been a long- it's
You
been
have
a
not
while
made.
since I've made
Yeah,
that
it's
joke.
been forever since you made one of those jokes.
Like, I go through, as anybody probably knows, I go through my hyperfixations. It's different every 6 months.
Yeah, that one did last for quite a while. Though.
I don't know. Lately, though, I feel like I've had fewer and fewer fixations on things.
It's been mostly on your smart home, really.
Well, I mean, like, even with that, the lights are like I even said to myself, I was like, damn, it's been a while since I've had like a hyperfixation.
Yeah.
And even now, it's not fully done. I have the lights and stuff, and I have the solder, and I just need to like put the thing down, extend it, and then stick it down.
Just let him play video games after work.
I feel that. I've been trying to be better about actually like staying awake for another hour or so to get some video game and rest time in. Because for a while, like Mickey was saying, I was doing all that overtime. I was just working, coming home, and sleeping.
It's just so
Spending an
sad.
entire day on this, and then on my weekends, and then taking a couple hours of the last day after I've done all my chores and shit to relax.
I feel like that might be part of the reason why I want to go and try like new weird shit. Is just because like I go to work, I come home, I play video game, I stay up too late trying to reconcile some kind of freedom. I wake up, go to work, come back home, do the same shit, and like I don't know, I don't feel like I've done anything actually new in a long time.
Go to trivia night. Boy, I love trivia night.
Go
It doesn't-
to karaoke.
No.
You don't even have to do karaoke. Just go to the bar with me.
we can do the whole Barney thing.
Have you met Mickey? I do kind of want to know if that would work.
I
It
feel
would work
like
so well.
yeah, I
would work
feel like
so
it
well.
would have some
'Cause
positive effect.
It's like that charming awkwardness.
Yeah, and I mean, like, one person just runs by, is like, have you met Will? And then just fucking books it, and then they turn around or something, they're like, huh?
And everybody's seen How I Met Your Mother, so then they're like, they like it.
There's so many people that'll get that fucking reference, especially our age.
I feel like we are that generation.
We
It
just
came out in
are.
a time where, like, it was all out, and, like, it was still somewhat relevant, so everybody was just watching it.
Yeah,
So
the last
bingeable.
season takes place in 2013, which I did not realize in 2014 when I was watching it. I thought the show was like 5 years older than it was, but I still loved the hell out of it.
I had that weird revelation, because obviously Ted's talking to his kids and stuff, and it says 2028. That is fucking 3 years away from now.
I thought you were going to say 4 at first, so I was about to correct you to 3, but you just fucking were there.
No, it is 4.
4 in less than a month.
Yeah.
So-
4 and 26 days.
So yeah, that blew my mind. I was like, shit, this is about to be completely in the past.
That is pretty crazy.
We're all getting old.
Yeah, we've already passed the last time they brought up the group of guys watching the original trilogy of Star Wars. Because 2016 was the last reference, like the last year they referenced.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Were they watching Force Awakens?
No, because that was not like I remember rewatching that around the time Force Awakens came out, which is my personal favorite of the sequel trilogy, easily.
Not controversial to say. Not
I'm
No,
not really a
controversial.
not
Star Wars
controversial.
dude, but that fucking lightsaber was so cool.
The crotch,
I think it's Kylo
the
Ren.
sound
Yeah.
design on it was just so crispy. It was crunchy. It was like biting into a fucking crunch bar. Oh, it was so
Hey.
good.
Dark Crunch bars is so good.
Dude. Like, seriously, okay, a little bit of a tangent, but it kind of has to do with the podcast. I have gotten so much more into sound design and shit lately, but, like, I was always into it with Star Wars, and it's kind of like, I don't know, it just makes me want to learn more about it, and, like, audio engineering and shit.
Tony, dog. Hit up Tony.
Oh, hey, you know what? While we're here, let's plug the boy. Go onto YouTube, search up what is it? Killer Inside. Right?
Oh yeah, I was part of that. Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Mickey helped with short horror film by our buddy Tony. He posted on YouTube. It is Killer Inside. Was it like 8 minutes, 5 minutes, 8 minutes?
I think it's like 6-ish. Somewhere around
Yeah, it's less than 10 minutes. It's good. I'm not horror, but like it's really good at building tension, and that's the kind of sound design I want to get to.
You're so
What
close again.
what's his Tony?
Anthony Causa.
Is that what his YouTube is for it?
I
I'll
think
look this
so.
up now. I'm gonna be really close again.
Before, when you edit this, you might want to text him.
Here it
and,
is.
Like, ask if, just to make sure. I'm sure you won't have a problem with it, but like,
Is this gonna
Yeah.
scare me?
it might.
It'll make you a little. It made me feel a little anxious, maybe.
Ooh.
I think
Like
it
it was
really does a good
tense.
job
That's
of,
what it is. It's
like-
tense.
Yeah, I feel like it does a good job of making you like question. You're like puzzled. You're a little like, what's happening?
Okay, that's interesting. It's a good pitch.
And I mean, I would honestly, I feel like I didn't do much. I was just a fucking boom guy, but I was still a part of it. And like, those dudes are cool. I had
Holy
fun
cow.
with it.
Oh, okay, that's a trend.
One of his videos has 500,000 views.
Wait, really? Goddamn.
Well, there's 1,000
Wait.
views on the trailer for Killer Inside.
I mean, just based on the amount of people that dude knows, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's a cover of Dune Part 2 track.
The best movie of the year.
I have not seen either of the Dune movies.
That's insane.
Wait,
so
how
good.
many?
Dude,
How many views
He's got
did you
some
say this
really
had?
fucking
Half
cool.
a million.
Yeah, it's 454,000 views. What the
shit?
hell?
That's how
Oh, you
good
know what's
Dune is.
funny? You know what's funny? I think Tony actually follows the Facebook because I follow him on there. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I feel like he's really good about like trying to help support. Because I mean, he is himself a local artist.
I just now subscribed to him with the Half Baked D&D YouTube channel.
Ooh.
I really hope he gets a notification for it.
That would be fucking hilarious. But yeah, sound design. I want to get better at it. I want to have more fun with it going forward.
No, I want to ask him about that video because like the rest of his videos have like 1,000.
Yeah,
200,
like,
300,
it's
and
not
then one
much
with
compa-
500,000.
One random 500,000.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's so many. That's the population of Greeley and Fort Collins and Loveland.
Oh, you know,
That's
while we're still
And
kind of
Windsor.
talking about plugging friends projects, Jellyfish Farm and author of Your Downfall, check him out on Spotify.
Jellyfish Farm is our good friend Doug, Allen, Hugo, Ori.
Yeah,
Is it are they a band?
they are a
Tony.
band. They're
What
math
kind of
rock,
music
right?
do they make?
They
Math
are
rock.
a SpongeBob band.
Oh.
That's not a good description of it.
That is the perfect description of it. Have you seen those dudes? Have you
Okay,
seen the album cover?
Yes, but also like if you're going with an actual genre, it is math rock,
Okay,
prog
yeah.
rock. Same with All Through Your Downfall, right? They're technically like they're prog metal.
I think so. They both do like instrumental stuff. So I
Yeah,
feel
like
that kinda
highly instrumental.
Interesting.
Jellyfish Farm, they sometimes get friends to come on and sing at their shows when they do like.
That's cool.
They've done covers of Creep like every time I've seen them in play live.
'Cause I'm a creep.
Exactly.
I'm a weirdo.
Side note, since I'm just sitting on YouTube, Mark uploaded a 10-minute video called Sprunky.
What does that
Okay,
even
yeah.
mean?
That's just such a weird title.
Okay, well, he had a random like emergency meeting fucking live stream a while back. That was
That was about his movie and stuff. Or
I think
not
it was, yeah. But
it was
also
about Edge of Sleep.
he randomly talked about Bob and Wade having a baby together.
The fanfic becomes real.
Dude, apparently there's been so much just crap like fans have given like just oh my god, it's just become a giant fucking joke.
Well, I mean, honestly, you're friends with two dudes for long enough, it's bound to happen.
Yeah, especially when you are very popular.
Yeah. There are so many minds there that are just conjuring these stories and
Are they very
potential
popular?
universes. Yes, they are. His 11 hours ago video Sprunky has 572,000 views already.
Whoa.
Okay, so quick question for you guys. Which of the covers has been your favorite? Because I just was scrolling through the Facebook and I saw those.
No idea.
Let's refresh.
Spotify. Put in the comments what you view our
Before I
stuff
look, the I one really stands out to me. Not the one that you just showed me, but the one that's like the two eyes, like the nightlife. That's the one
Oh,
that
yeah,
like
that's
always
good.
takes my mind. But because that was like the first one, really.
Here, I'm gonna upload the newest one. So
Ooh.
long as I can find it. There we go. I'll send this in Discord.
I have this Wild Sheep Chase has a special spot in my mind.
It's just so simple.
Uh-huh.
But that was really what I was going for with it. Like, it's just kind of... It almost looks like a kidsy art book.
I also like our 1-year anniversary image a lot.
I really appreciate the way that one came out.
That's probably my favorite, but I feel like that's against the spirit of the question.
Yeah, the Wild Sheep Chase just has this like derpy vibe to it.
It's so
Uh-huh.
derpy. But it really captures how that little mini-series went. Oh, I did not end up clicking send. But yeah, that one shot, it really has the same vibe, I feel like.
It's so funny.
And then I just sent episode 32's cover in the chat.
Is this a castle on Only Natural?
Yeah.
It looks like a little monster on fire.
Yeah. I
mean, it is on fire.
I kind of did that one very slapdash, but I do like the rest of it going on there. And the colors. I really like the colors, actually, on that one.
Yeah, I did too.
Bro,
we did catch it on fire, isn't it? Yeah, it's the cartel's base. Yeah.
Yeah.
Migo gave me this art tablet, and the most I've done with it so far is just like set it up. That's another thing. Like I've just been too so like to it.
I don't know what it is, but I'm looking at episode 32's cover, and I'm just realizing it gives me hardcore Requiem for a Dream vibes.
Well, this one's cool, Will.
32?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where the fuck did you put that?
It's in
in
the
the
actual
chat
chat for
for-
sessions.
Yeah, I found it.
This
I don't
one
know,
might be
Sins
the
of
best
Father
one
was
yet.
Pretty cool.
Sins of the Father is probably my actual favorite, but this one actually turned out kind of cool.
Sons of the Father, the Tower. Oh no, that's the Wings.
It's the
don't-
wings.
I don't like that one. It's
Why
like
not?
A hairy eyeball. Like ew.
It is
Like,
supposed
it's
to be a
not
little
actually
uncomfortable.
bad, but like it's just like
It's
ew.
uncomfortable in a way, and that's kind of intentional.
But yeah, so the Sins of the Father one is pretty cool. I like I don't know, the exploding nature of it. Oh, that's also my episode.
Yeah. But no, that one
Wow.
is that one. There's something about that one. I don't know what it is, but I look at him like that looks probably the most professional out of them,
I feel
aside
like
from
it
maybe the
might-
1 year.
It might be the colors. Maybe the colors are like just
Like,
the
it
right
comes
shade
together
away from
very
each other.
well.
Yeah, and it's like it kind of catches your eye. I think Lost in Dreams also does a similar thing, but it's very bright and vibrant.
Yeah. Also, something that always bothers me about the Sins of the Father cover. So the kind of explosion in the background is not centered with the wings. The wings are centered with the rest of it, but
It's not even centered in the picture. You bastard!
yeah, I don't. It's
I'm
just because I
closing
couldn't.
that now.
So the reason that happened is because I used Clip Studio Paint, and the like explosion effect. I had to click in one corner and drag it to the other, but the way it would generate it, I just could not get it centered. That was the most centered I could seem to get it. I
Huh.
might go back and try to remaster the cover of that because I've learned more about how to do Clip Studio
Well,
Paint stuff.
That makes me wonder if there's like a snap feature.
There
Or like
might
it
be.
snaps to a grid or something. I don't know anything about art.
Well, you know enough about ratios to know that snap would help a lot.
Yeah, and I mean just like a grid in general helps a lot. I guess in a way I know things about art just purely because Terraria and Minecraft trying to like make the art.
Yeah.
When do we get the Terraria one shot?
There's probably a Terraria module out there already.
I
Dude,
have no
Mickey,
idea.
that's the one you could totally fucking DM.
That or like Pokemon or something. I know a lot about Pokemon.
Yeah, there you go. Just fucking have both set up as backups.
Pull
Boom.
the trigger.
The problem is that takes a lot of effort.
And we've talked about that.
A lot of effort and planning and trying to like have a vague idea of what might happen and like be kind of prepared. I am not a prepared person.
Will does it
Relatable.
every 2 weeks in theory.
Will is a mildly prepared person.
I've just gotten myself really disciplined over the last couple of months, years,
Locking in.
apparently. I
Dude,
like
unless
looking
it's
at these. What?
Unless it's like a video game or like something I've been looking forward to like all day, I cannot stay focused on it. Like that editing, I could not fucking stay focused on editing for more than like fucking 20 minutes because I was just trying to learn all this shit and I was like, God damn it, why can't I just do the thing? I got the image in my head. Hey, why does it take 15 to 40 minutes to learn how to do one thing for 10 seconds of video to fucking like it's a pain in the ass. And I mean, I guess preparing for a session is more just research and like trying to figure out what monsters and like have a vague idea of what health they might have and shit like that. I don't know. That's a lot. I don't know if I'm prepared for that.
Fair enough.
You've already got it.
Well, I mean, like, I have only learned some of the stuff and discovered some of the stuff I have because I randomly hyperfixate on it, and I'm like, what am I doing here? I want this. How do I do this? Give me this. I can't get this. YouTube or Google, how do this easy?
That was me with DaVinci so much. I made like
I've done it
made,
with
like,
DaVinci a
fucking-
couple times, actually. I did it for my not Tears of the Kingdom, Echoes of Wisdom review. For there's a bit where I have a Breath of Fresh Air joke,
Mhm.
and I use the Breath of the Wild, like one of the Breath of the Wild promotional prints, and I just like edited over it, Breath of Fresh Air instead of Breath of the Wild. But so how I did
yeah.
it was instead of trying to do it all on DaVinci, I made the image on Clip Studio and then had the image go on in DaVinci because I had some experience using images for videos through the podcast. So I knew I could
feel
put
like-
it on there.
I feel like that's something manageable that I feel like I could do in DaVinci. Maybe not Clip Studio because I don't know that one. But like that's just like a zoom maybe, or just like you literally just like throw it on there and then boom, you have it sit there for a couple seconds and you're done.
Yep. Like literally, it was just a zoom for a few seconds. I figured out how long I needed it. Did that, just played around with it, and I was like, all right, cool, I'm done. That was a weird video to edit too, because it took me like 6 hours, and I just kind of started it and then did it.
I was gonna say, I guess a good example of me just like doing and learning something is just Twitch. So I stream somewhat often. I've been forgetting the past 2 weeks, but like most of the shit I've learned, I've either asked Hyde or just kind of like found, and I'm like, bro, that'd be kind of sick.
I'm just gonna start texting you when I go to lunch on Sundays and be like, motherfucker, you better start streaming.
It's Wednesdays now.
I'm gonna text you when I'm at work on Wednesdays, or I'm just gonna knock at your door. No, I'm not. Not while you're doing your shit, but like I will know when you're free. I will watch you.
I have a lock on my door, you know.
That doesn't stop me from knocking on it.
Just starts banging on my door. I just like see my light turn on. I go to the stairwell. My door is just in the stairwell. Just banging on the door so hard. It's like, motherfucker.
No, I'm just gonna be sitting there, just like, Mickey.
What is that in reference to?
Apparently
Stewie?
Sheldon, but it's more in reference to one of my brother's friends.
Yeah, it is Sheldon.
Your eyes popped open to like 3 times their size when you said "oh."
I thought Stewie because like his whole
Mom,
Mama,
Mommy.
Mama.
Lois.
But yeah, that's 100% Sheldon. Just knock on it, Penny.
I'm gonna
Penny.
fucking do it. All right. Well, we've been going for a while. I don't even know how long this has been. 2 hours
Side
and 20
quest
minutes.
achieved. About 50% of it's about the podcast.
Yeah,
Well,
that's pretty good.
most of it's at least related. Let me pull this back up real quick. I want to ask you guys one more question, I guess.
Ooh.
Who's your favorite NPC?
My best friend in the whole wide world, Cora.
I saw that one coming.
How are we talking? Well, I guess it's just personal opinion.
Yeah.
Lardy spends the most time with Handy.
Yeah, I was gonna
He
say
does.
Handy because he's the most useful.
Fair enough.
I guess Bronze is also useful because I mean he just takes us places.
Yeah, if
And he
Eli
never
was
asks
here,
for anything.
I would give him the stipulation that it cannot be violent.
Let's see, who would he pick?
I feel like he'd pick Arcanus, honestly, because him and Arcanus have kind of been on this
Mhm.
arc lately. It's just like we're best
We got
buds.
a
We're
bromance
buds.
going.
We're buds now.
I liked Infernus before you made us murder him.
No, okay. Here's the thing. I murdered him, and I knew pretty much the entire time he was around, he was gonna die that way.
Oh, that's so sad.
I did kind of
Does
fuck
he
up
need to
that
go on our
whole.
picture?
Huh?
He's on the Act 1 picture, but not the Act 2 picture.
Yeah. Well, no, he would be in the Act 2 picture, because he's in
Just
it.
be
a
on the floor.
gravestone.
Yeah. That whole arc, that whole thing, I fucked up because I was gonna have him go crazy, and then I was gonna have you guys go upstairs, and there was gonna be a red tear involved, causing Alvin to learn about Korra while he was confronting the Devil Lord dude, and
Whoa.
just like have that all go crazy. But I did
Alternate
not
reality.
do what I was going to do in the end.
And in the
Mickey had a revelation there at some point. He's forgotten what it is.
What?
You
What the fuck was it?
You looked down and to the right, and then just a smile slowly creeped across your face. I was like,
Was
this
it
man
about
has
an
no
NPC?
idea what was just in his brain.
Recap me real quick. What the
We
fuck
were
are you
talking about Infernus, and in that arc, the red tear being involved with.
Ah. The fucking portrait photos, because I mentioned Logan mentioned he's not on the Act 2 one. I was like, yeah, he's laying on the ground. Those
Oh.
pictures could be like, if something actually happened, they could be there, but like they're not quite there. They're like on the ground or like a piece of their armor or something, or like a
Yeah,
sword or
Some
a
sort of
weapon.
memorabilia for them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
That would be cool. Just at the
I was kind of
end.
thinking too. Would
can't
we
believe-
come up with stuff that is changed about how we look? Because I don't think Ghost has really changed anything that he's wearing in like 40 sessions.
Ghost is a dirty hippie.
Yeah, well, he is.
You do make a good point there.
But
I have
think
not
could
really
come up
put
with things that
too.
change.
I haven't put too much thought into your actual like apparels or anything. The eye in episode 32's cover is supposed to be Sakuma's eye. And apparently he has
Ooh.
blue eyes now.
Nice. So the episode 32's thing is Sokuma's hairy eye.
Well, it's because he gets Batmanified.
Well, no, it's because of the weird shit happening with your souls and you developing weird powers.
Yeah, that's him getting Batmanified.
Sure.
He gets all the Batman powers. He can glide. He can envelop people in shadows. He can.
How do you remember this?
Because his powers are the coolest powers.
He did get
And
the.
it's literally
No,
Batman.
okay, your power is really fucking cool though, and
yeah,
Mickey and I are
mine's
working
good.
on his power to make it actually cool. Instead of
Mine's,
just-
Yeah, I
mine's
was
probably the best, but I think Eli's is the coolest.
You said we all got powers. I'm like, you guys got powers?
You got the ability to select to fucking cause a crit, which is cool and that's pretty good. But like, you don't remember this.
Do I? Have I had this power the whole time?
You've had this
Oh.
power for about 6 episodes now.
You're
Yeah.
telling me I could have done even more damage last episode?
Probably.
Yeah.
But that's what we were talking about earlier though, and it's probably going to be cooler with whatever we end up doing.
I think we need to figure out how to put that on my character sheet because honestly, I did not remember at all.
Yeah, that's why I want to
Yeah, I
switch
just
us
put
over
mine
to
on my
roll
character
20
sheet.
for the character sheets, because I can. They're a bit more freeform than
Oh, that's
D&D
cool.
Beyond. Like it's
More
easier to add
user-friendly.
weird shit. More homebrew friendly. Let's go with that. But okay, I guess one more question. How do you guys feel about how your characters have developed over the 32 episodes up to that point?
Like characters overall or
Like-
like abilities?
Yes, like as far as story and as your like builds.
I don't know, man. Tin's pretty useless. He's a meat shield and he causes disadvantage. That's about all he's good for.
Yeah,
Or sorry, not a meat shield because he's not meat.
he's a steel
Tim
shield.
Shield.
That has a worse ring to it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Ghost. People saying that Moon Druid was the most broken class and subclass is probably true.
Yeah, it really is.
I don't really know mechanically how you get much tougher than this.
Yeah, man,
So-
man never loses any health. He just like changes
Yeah.
back into normal form and then transforms again.
No, he loses
So-
health. Fucking Infernus knocked his ass out temporarily.
Well, wasn't that more just like a straight up fight rather than him being like a I don't know fucking whale or something?
Yeah, I also didn't really want to fight Infernus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was your downfall. Was I've learned that the way to kill Logan is to add emotional stakes to it.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll die to emotional stakes.
Yeah,
And then
you'll
like
do it for the plot.
Character-wise, I like that Ghost has gone from this kind of kill everybody guy, burn the world kind of thing, of Alvin's goal to realizing that maybe you have to have something to come back to.
Hell yeah. And then we just have empty silence for Sakuma. Though
Well, let's see,
he did
Eli-
have he had some character development in episode 32 until he threw the rabbit.
Sakuma really likes playing his character.
He really does.
He really likes being a bear. That's mainly his character development. He loves
Yeah.
going bear mode.
When Eli commits, he really commits.
When he commits, he fucking commits. Crimes.
Like-
War crimes.
like he
Many
was
of
trying
them.
to be he was trying to be a fucking tree salesman, right?
Yeah, he hardcore committed to that, but that's
Mm-hmm.
a couple episodes out for these guys. Oh, that's gonna be fucking
You'll
great.
just have to
I'm-
stay tuned to find out.
Yeah,
Okay.
like that's a
Oh.
whole story in and of itself.
And then for Sakuma's character development, I feel like he's become more unsure of himself. If you wanted to put some character development that was may or may not there. Like in the beginning, he's still like kind of a golden guard. And he doesn't know like if he wants to go back to that golden guard life. And obviously his father figure holds quite a bit of influence, and like even if it's not like a good influence, he's still like impacted
Yeah,
or caused to do stuff because of him. But now he's basically his
his
own
anchor
guy.
has moved.
yeah, uh-huh.
And then I feel like for my character, like I feel like I'm close to like my character's not bad, don't get me wrong, it's just kind of me. But like the actual build itself, I feel like is lacking in some way. And a thought I had, I don't know, 5 minutes ago was like he's kind of a half caster. I cast a lot of spells and shit.
Definitely.
I feel
half-assed.
like subclassing or however you do that into like some sort of druid or wizard or sorcerer or necromancer or something would be really cool, because then I could cast more spells, and if I did like necromancy or something, I could just summon things. Actually, I can do that now because I have the thing. I'll let you guys find out.
Yeah,
Ooh,
we
what?
we can definitely actually talk about like which classes would give you the diversity you want and your like
That'd be cool.
craziness. And I think
'Cause,
that
like,
would
I
be
do
really
have-
fun.
I do have some cool spells. They just don't hit,
Yeah.
for lack of a better term, I guess. Like I build up a lot of status effects and then just watch them melt.
Yeah, I don't really know what artificers are supposed to do combat wise. Like everything
they're a
else
Swiss
about them
Army
makes
knife.
sense.
Like
They
Are
do
they?
everything. If they need to get
Yeah,
in the
they
face,
really
get
are.
In the face.
they're good in utility purposes, like picking locks and everything, but they also have like decent combat ability. It's just really hard because they're very much the jack of all trades, master of none, and it's very
What-
limiting.
Do you have multi attack? Dude,
He does have two
kind
attacks.
of.
okay. So yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Do I-
They are
is that
basically just
part
good
of
at
my
everything then.
thing?
Like,
I wonder if that's part of the thing.
so weird analogy. They remind me a lot of the Warden class in Lord of the Rings Online.
No way, what
where
a
you
throwback.
You can combo different shit together to get different effects. Some are like buffing, some are tanking, and all this other crap. And it's like really cool, but it's also extremely complicated to get good with.
Yeah.
Like, if you can get good with it, you can solo everything. But if you can't, God, it's a nightmare.
What were you telling me the subclass was that you wish I would have gone with?
I think it was Battlesmith?
Am a battle.
Not the one that gets the cannon or turret or whatever it is.
No, that's Eldritch something. Let me pull the... I actually had the Artificer page up earlier, and now I don't. Give me just a moment. Armorer, probably? Yeah, the Armorer. Because that's the one that your armor is a lot more like a Warforged wearing armor.
And I do have that soul, but artillerist sounds just fun.
That's the Eldritch Cannon shit.
Oh. Yeah, I feel like because then either way, that's something that's used every combat instead of a guy that's kind of hard to keep track of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I always forget about him.
Like,
Object permanence is not there.
I think it would be kind of fun to respec Zardan Margolobos now that you have more of an understanding of who he is and how you want to build him.
Like, there could be a side quest where we just, like, I don't know, maybe me and you record something, like an hour-long thing or something, where I'm, like, researching and, like, I don't know, working on myself, for lack of a better term, and just a fucking motivational time lapse.
Maybe what we do... Okay, so I just had an idea of how I can make it... How I can... What the catalyst would be for this change What we could do is if after this next arc, we can do a smaller like episode where it's just individuals, kind of like what I did with Ghost for his little conversations with people before and after
Oh, that's cool.
certain
Uh-huh.
episodes. Oh, I just had a great idea. This is gonna be fun.
I honestly thought that I was expecting more.
No,
You
because
looked
I don't
like you
want to
had
spoil
more.
anything. No, I'm ready for this now.
Let's have more.
I know how we're gonna do this. Specifically with you.
And then I need to figure out what the fuck am I gonna lose,
What are you gonna what?
or like what I'm gonna lose,
How?
just like swapping. But on the other hand, like I guess D&D Beyond might not support this, but like I was a battlesmith. Maybe I just like wanted to branch out and expand some of my tinkering knowledge, and just like I learned what I learned. I can't learn anymore from that, but I also have some other shit.
So you would want to multi-class into the same class but with a different subclass?
That sounds complicated.
But generally, like you would want to also try artillerist or armorer?
Yeah, like maybe I like pick and choose like one or two things from each, and then like take that knowledge, see what happens. I'll have to like look more into it, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't
do it.
think that knowledge ever would leave. Like I just forget everything. Like maybe Tin would still be around, but he would be like this. I don't know, my house butler.
He's the Iron Man 2 briefcase.
What I was kind of thinking is if you went to armorer, he just becomes your armor.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Would I have adamantine armor or whatever the fuck? I imagine he would become adamantine because I just like modify that shit.
Oh yeah, you could probably merge it. There's a lot of fun stuff we could do. I like coming up with weird solutions to these things, as you've probably noticed by now.
Yeah. But also that arm thing you texted me about sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
I know I didn't respond because I was at work, but that sounds pretty cool. And that would make my arm a hell of a lot more useful.
Yeah. Well, it's slowly getting more and more tricked out. It's kind of fun. But I think it's been a very fun 32 episodes. We're at fucking like in recording, we're up to 36.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
That's part of the reason I wanted to do this was so that we had another episode to pad this out a little bit.
Yeah,
I
are we
see
playing over
why.
the holidays?
Yeah. Wait, what was that?
Are we trying to play sometime over the holidays?
Potentially, if we can. I think the 19th I am busy. And I think the next Thursday after that is New Year's Day.
Speaking of holidays, while we're on a side quest, I keep getting in my head that I actually want to do Christmas, like fucking wrapping paper and like putting shit under the trees and like get some stockings. And
Yeah, get
Hell
a
yeah,
tree.
brother.
I don't know,
You guys
like,
have a tree?
yeah, we'll put one up.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I don't know, just like the whole thing with Mariah, she like mentioned some shit with her mom over Christmas, and like she invited me to that, and then obviously that didn't pan out for obvious reasons. But it made me kind of just like want to do holiday shit.
It's kind of fun
haven't-
getting excited for holidays sometimes.
Yeah, ever since I moved out until you showed up, we hadn't done anything for any holidays for like 4 or 5 years.
And then I had my reasons. I really wanted to do holidays last year. It kind of happened. This year's been
Yeah,
a
we
lot
love
better about it
holidays.
so far.
Yeah, we still had fun with it.
Yeah. But yeah,
Should we
this has
get-
been fun. I think I'm excited to see where the rest of the story and the campaign goes. I'm excited to see what happens with the rest of the characters and how we change Zarde Margolobos again.
The ever-evolving bird.
Maybe
That's
we
his
lean into
title.
your moonlight fruit. Wait, didn't we? No, you lost half your spell slots instead. Yeah, maybe we lean into the moonlight stuff a little bit.
Ooh.
Wait, do I still only have half my spell slots?
Yes. No, we fixed that. But that's for the next episode. And I think until next time, the listeners should stay groovy.
Podcast out! No, I'd cut that out.